I'm still going strong. Here is the link for part 2. Okay, so folks, find your towel buddies. Everyone find their towel buddies. Truth over bias needs a towel buddy. We're going to get onto Air Towel. Okay, we're going to slowly proceed over to the new stream. All right, so I know, Maui Swift was the first one there. Hello, Maui Swift, you are Super Towel. So if you are heading over to the new stream, we're going to give you a few minutes. We're going to leave both streams running for a second. I'm Double Towel. Great job. Hello, Pink. It's great to see you. Hello, Murder Maestro. Hello, Iris. So we're going to give, 5 minutes or so for folks to land the towel plane. Then we're going to continue doing our Turtle Boy analysis without me having to feel rushed. Good thing I got a second coffee, ladies and gentlemen. Good thing I got waffle cone and cookie dough in my coffee because I am an awake little towel. And you might be saying, Grant, you literally have been going for 13 hours. How can you be so excitable? Well, one, I'm going to take tomorrow off, so I don't mind going a little bit late today. 2, this is ridiculous and crazy, and I can't believe this is all happening, and I want to be here for history. 3, I would love to have you here for history with me. Pink, it's so great to have. Okay, all right, no trolling, Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. I love your username, but no trolling. No trolling. No trolling. Literally, we have an entire blue wall of justice. No trolling. Messy Jor is waiting for their towel buddy. All right, we're waiting for folks to transition. So you literally, the new stream is the same stream as the old stream. You are seeing the same content. Literally, I'm Double Towel right now. This is how I do the transition. I have a pretty good sense of how to do this. So let's give it a few more minutes. Hello. Messy Jor, you are an inspiration, my dear friend. I'm so glad you were willing to talk that issue through earlier. I just want to let you know, no hard feelings. We are not going to blame JI5 for Kate Peter issuing a dictate that towels and Grant can't be mentioned on Kevin's stream. 1, that's ridiculous. 2, if you have a problem with it, let Kevin know. I'm sure JI5 is not doing it because they don't like towels. It's just the politics of it all. But just be like, Kevin, who gives a fuck what Kate says? If you're going to stream, who cares? Towels like you, Kevin. We don't have to ban them because Kate says it. That's weird. It's not high school. Chili DeCastro. If there's one thing, I've never agreed with Kate Peter on much, but if there's one thing I agree with her on, it's that Chili DeCastro is a moron, in my opinion. All right. So we are going over to the new stream. I think we're doing good. We are doing a good job, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very proud of you. I am proud of you. We're still looking at the old stream chat, but that's kind of funny. All right. So what if I turn over this chat to the nighttime chat? Have you ever seen the nighttime chat before? Hold on. Take a look at this. Nighttime chat. Oh, we have nighttime chat. Ladies and gentlemen, look at that. You can tell it's a towel late night stream because we have late night chat. We've never had a late night chat before, so it's black. Oh, that's so cool. It's great to see so many of you, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I don't think we need that much of a delay on the chat. We have a little bit too. I think that's enough of a delay. Oh, you're an inspiration, Messy Jones. It's so good to see you. All right, you got about 2 more minutes on that other chat. So again, if you want to come over to part 2, I'm going to share the link one more time. Hold on a second. If you want to come over to part 2, you should head to the other stream. All right, down with the damn commies. No drama. Here is the link for part 2. This feed, it was shutting down. All right, one more time. Yes, exactly. Hello, Murder by Maestro. I think you are still in the old chat. All right. I'm ending the first stream now. You should transition to the other stream. Okay, I'm going to end the first stream. Everybody get ready. Try not to panic. Nobody panic, ladies and gentlemen. All right, nobody panic. I'm worried Murder by Maestro is going to panic. Don't panic, Murder by Maestro. You are a beloved super towel. All right, don't panic. Just compose yourself. Everything will be okay. All right, so I think we're doing it. I think we're getting ready. I think everybody's feeling good. We're going to be able to do our transition. You did, filthy rat bastard. Congratulations. I do like dark mode. I will admit it, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's get rid of that one. All right, we're getting ready to end the first stream. All right, so you got about 30 more seconds, 60 more seconds or so before the first stream ends because I need to load up the back end to end the first stream. Once the first stream is over, we will start talking in the second stream. I'm a little worried Murder by Maestro got lost. Has anyone found them? Murder by Maestro, are you a safe little towel? Remember, the stream you're in now is going to end. There is a part 2. So you want to head over to part 2 now, and you are able to do so, again, via the link in the towel chat. All right, so I'm going to end part 1, ladies and gentlemen, okay? I'm going to end part 1. So part 1 is going to be ending in the next 30 seconds. If you are on part 1, you are going to want to head over to part 2. I repeat, you are going to want to head over to part 2. All right, so that is going to end quite literally right about now. I hate the damn commies. You got it, Francesca. So again, Vicky, we can see you, but head to part 2, Vicky. Click this link. You are in the wrong chat. So click that link, and stream 1 has ended, so click the link to go to part 2. You should show up in chat 2, and then we will say hello. All right, good job. Everybody is doing a good job. We should expect the others to join now that I ended the first one. Now, the reason we have to do that is not because of me. I would just continue streaming, but there are actual constraints on the platform itself. So you're going to want to head over, ladies and gentlemen, to part 2. All right, so part 1 has ended. Thank you for tuning in. We are on part 2. All right, we are officially on part 2. Has anyone not arrived? No, most of you have arrived. Good job. I'm so proud of you all. We can go back to analyzing Turtle Boy now. Excellent job. I'm so proud of you all. You made it. Good job. Everybody made it. All right, here we go. Let's go back to analyzing Turtle Boy. If you're just tuning in, we are in the middle of analyzing Aiden Turtle Boy Kearney. He said he was going to talk about whether he's under investigation by the FBI. It is an hour in, more than an hour in. He has not talked about it at all. He did say some of the FBI and DOJ were stupid or idiots for only being able to investigate the state police Troop F overtime scandal. And he's also said a bunch of other ridiculous things and wouldn't talk about Kate Peters' secret Discord, and then didn't explain why he didn't talk about it. So we're going to continue analyzing this. He's taking next week off starting on Saturday. It seems like he's a little nervous, and that's putting it lightly. Let's continue listening. Putting the FBI in the title of your video will definitely get the FBI's attention, though, if they don't already have it.
When you're little, and who was it, Bob Mott? I think he's talking about that. It's like one of those, you know what that reminds me of? The John Grisham novel in the movie A Time to Kill. It's just like that. The father that's, the daughter in that movie is raped and I believe murdered, and he waits for them inside the courthouse with a shotgun and just comes out and shoots them as they're going up. And the trial is about him because he kills the people who raped and did that thing to his daughter. It sounds very familiar to the Aaron Spencer story. It's like he kind of like is like he did. I don't want to say the wrong thing because I don't know the whole thing, but my understanding is his daughter was raped and kidnapped by this animal, and then I believe he killed him, and now he's on trial for that. It sounds a lot like that, and so we all naturally sympathize with the guy who did something like that, but on the other hand, of course, we can't just have vigilante justice in this country, right? I mean, that's like the other side of the issue is you can't just have like just because a person's horrific doesn't give any of us the license to go and kill them and murder them, even though we might identify with them and understand their motivations. So I don't even know how a trial like that would go, because it seems like he fully admits that he did it. So there's more to it. See, that's the part I don't know. If there's more to it. Again, I know nothing about it other than the basics. So I'll have to read more up on that. Maybe Melanie can fill me in on that tomorrow. Oh, they saved her. So she's okay. See that? There's more to it. I will watch Melanie stream on it, or else maybe she can just catch me up on it tomorrow. Okay. So there we go. All right, cool. Next up, the guy had his daughter in the truck. Okay. So that's different. That sounds like self-defense almost. If you're like actively trying to save someone's life, it's like a cop. If a cop kills somebody because they're actively trying to harm someone else and you have to kill them to save the other person's life, that doesn't sound like a crime to me. And if that's what happens, then he's not guilty. And it's not the same as what happened in A Time to Kill, is it? It's not the same. So I take that back. All right, next up. Dennis sends $25, goes, the guy had statements, and when questioned, they were just too general. I thought you were very polite in the situation. Yeah, Jason's a good guy. Jason's a great guy. I love Jason. Okay. What else do we have here? Tara sends $10 and goes, since your son loves to read, has he ever read the Magic Treehouse series? Yeah, he actually has read the entire series. He's done the Magic School Bus ones and the Magic Treehouse, and he's out of books. So that's why he's on to Judy Blume now. He reads too much. Not that there's anything that's too much, but he reads so much that he's just read them all. There's about 40 books. He read them all. My kiddo is not a reader, and we found those, and she loved them. He's also read the Diary of the Wimpy Kid ones, like thoroughly, like done. He's got none left to read. Read them all. Okay. And she loved them. All about intimidation, adventure, much love from Phoenix. Also, what are your thoughts on the Brother Council video you did on your charges? I thought it was great. So Brother Council and I had a nice conversation that lasted about 45 minutes on the phone the other day. And, he told me before he made his video, that he was basically looking to protect me. Like he didn't want to have me come on his show and then me say something that is later used against me in trial. Like he would feel bad about that, which I appreciate the fact that he's thinking like that, like as a lawyer and kind of looking out for me, etc. And so I kind of talked to him. He doesn't know much about my charges. That's the thing. And so he's in the process right now, kind of catching up on the charges. And maybe after I get back from vacation, we can discuss further me coming on to do an interview with him. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So his video is good. He brought up a number. He's really good at research. He brought up a number of other cases in Massachusetts in which people have been convicted of witness intimidation. And all of them involve really bad dudes doing really bad things, like literally threaten, like they beat up a woman or they stab someone or something. And then they tell the victim, they usually tell the victim themselves, if you fucking say anything, I'm gonna fucking kill you. You know, I'll fucking take you and pick you, bitch. You better not fucking say something, I'll smack a hoe. Like that kind of stuff. Like real witness intimidation. Those are all the convictions he could find. Like actual legitimate witness intimidation. And then but then Turtle Boy says shit on YouTube. And he went to a Billerica lacrosse game. It's not the same thing. It's just, so I'm really glad he did that. And he pointed that out because that's what witness intimidation is. Like not going up to Jennifer McCabe and giving her the sads. Like not witness intimidation. Thank you. All right, cool. Next up. Kim from Texas says, hey, Daddy Turtle, I felt so bad for you on the interview. The questions were hard to follow and you did the best you could with what you had to work with. Thanks for standing up for truth and corruption. God bless you. Well, thank you very much. $20 from Jen says, Colin is apparently feeling comfortable in Canton again. Some AFKRs were drunkenly touting nonsense out at a bar and my fiance put her in her place about how dumb she sounded. Then she made a call and a few minutes later, Colin Albert pulled up in the parking lot like a tough guy. Kind of funny, but pretty fucking brazen of him. Colin is no towny celebrity and no one is scared of him. Colin Albert's gonna hurt. I'm telling you right now, like that kid has learned nothing. The worst thing they could have done for him is protect him like that. It saves him temporarily, but long term, I mean, think of the lesson that Colin Albert learned from this because he was in the house when John O'Keefe was murdered inside the house because he was. Both of them were. And John O'Keefe was in the house, Colin Albert was in the house. Fact, not opinion. And what Colin Albert did, we don't know. We'll never know. Only the people inside the house will know. But the fact that they're going to such lengths to hide the fact that he was there at all is pretty suspicious, in my opinion, to say the least. So I believe that Colin Albert was heavily involved in whatever happened to John O'Keefe. And I believe that the lesson that Colin Albert has learned from this is that whenever you're in trouble, really powerful people will come together. Your family has, such power.
Yeah, and just to be clear, listen, the reason why, I think there is a reason why Kate Peter doesn't, and again, I would ask, I don't think anyone is in the wrong here, like, I just think there's subtle politics to it. Like, I think Messi's right to be upset that Kate would ever tell Kevin that towels can't be mentioned in chat. Like, and imagine JI5 getting pressured just because their towel friends are saying hi to them, So let's just have some sympathy and show that compassion. And then let's also remember Messi is right, in my opinion, to be frustrated with Kate for ordering Kevin to do that. That's absurd. That's ridiculous. And listen, when you see Aiden talking about Colin Albert, I just want to remind you, okay, who started the rumor that Aiden went on to spread about Colin and Chris Albert selling drugs? And I don't understand whether Kate has information or what the hell, why anyone would ever enable this woman. But I just want to show you the proof that it was Kate Peter who admitted to spreading a rumor that was never talked about before Kate Peter brought it up, but has been talked about for years since. A rumor about Aiden, spread a rumor to Aiden Kearney about Chris Albert and Colin Albert selling drugs. So when Aiden talks about Chris and Colin, people are so quick to say, oh, look how bad this is. But look how Kate did it. Kate tactically spread a rumor about Chris and Colin under the auspices of trolling Aiden. But guess what? 2 years later, that rumor that did not exist before Kate spread it, which you're going to hear right here, continues to spread. And you got to ask yourself, ladies and gentlemen, why would anyone see this video and then think that Kate Peter is working for anyone but her own interest and the people closest to her? If she's willing to use Colin and Chris Albert as a distraction, get people focused on them and other people, you know what I'm saying? So let's watch this video. And that's obviously why Kate is pressuring Kevin, in my opinion, to ban mention of towels or me in Kevin's chat, and pressuring Kevin to then pressure people who like Kevin to feel guilty when people say, hey, like towel friend. That's wrong. Okay, it's wrong of Kate to do, and I think it's something that just is fundamentally just a dangerous thing. And I don't know, Vicky, you listen to the video. You tell me what you think.
This was 100% a fabrication out of my own mind. It is not rooted in reality at all. I sent this just to fuck with Aiden to prove that he does not vet information at all. He will run with any sort of gossip that bolsters his claims. And I want to prove this. So anyone who believes him should realize that a lot of this is getting sent out. I just went ahead and I emailed turtleboysports@gmail.com. I wrote based on a movie plot. This is based on a movie plot. You could do the same thing. He would probably run with it too. If anyone gets their fake stories mentioned by this schmuck, please email me. We'll have a prize for you. Listen to this.
All right. Yeah, and this is an honor. Like, I don't know who this person is, but I'm just going to read the email that I got out loud. All right, bear with me. Because, hi, I've been really scared to talk to anyone about this. And I know I'm not the only one. But I see you're keeping people anonymous, and I think it's important that people know. The problem that Colin Albert had with John O'Keefe was that Colin Albert sells pills and weed, and John knew about it because he lived across the street from one of Colin's friends who runs Colin. Colin's dad knows, and sometimes the drugs go through the pizza shop, from what I've heard. The whole Albert family makes money from it. I don't know. That's that's what makes it a little far fetched. Like, you're making the Albert family relies on marijuana sales and what other pill sales. Come on, that sounds. I'm just reading the email from it, and I don't know if his Uncle Brian knows or not, but I think he probably does, and explains why they're really covering it up. I have screenshots of Colin selling drugs because, sadly, I have bought from him before. Well, that's interesting. That's very interesting.
So interesting.
So again, this person asked for anonymity. They will be granted it.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, I have not said your name, and I'm not going to say your name.
Yeah, very trustworthy man.
You are
Until you don't dance to what I tell
safe
you
with me.
to dance
Oh,
to.
he said you're safe with me. Well, I don't want anonymity. I sent you that email, you dumb motherfucker.
Folks, so, I mean, there's your proof, right? So, I mean, I think some of you have some soul searching to do. The other thing is, I'm never saying Kevin announced that towel or mentioned in my name was banned. I'm telling you, just Maui Swift, if you want to ask around, whether, I don't know if people will be direct with you. I think that you deserve it. Maui Swift is a wonderful human. You'll find that Kate Peter did instruct Kevin to not allow towels or my name to be mentioned because she's petty and it's disgusting, and she doesn't like me playing videos like that, proving that the rumor about Colin and Chris Albert selling drugs came from Kate Peter. She can claim it was to make Aiden look dumb, but it didn't exist before she had him read that on air. Did not exist. So, Maui Swift, please don't, again, Maui Swift, the folks, please do not focus this on JI5. This has nothing to do with JI5. I'm telling you, it has nothing to do with JI5. Independent of JI5, way before this, do you understand, folks? I know a lot of information just because I don't repeat it. I knew weeks ago that Kate Peter issued an edict to Kevin that mentioned a towel or Grant in his chat was not allowed. I didn't say anything because I don't fucking care. Fuck your couch, Kate Peter, okay? But at the same time, like, I don't want to see JI5 by proxy held accountable for Kate Peter's bullshit. I don't want to see Kevin holding JI5 accountable for people saying hello towel. And I don't want to see anyone here holding JI5 accountable for Kate Peter's bullshit. I know people have very hard feelings because they probably felt that they loved Kevin. And why would anyone ever get forced out because they said hello fellow towel? It's not JI5. It's Kate Peter, okay? So if you want to, please don't be frustrated with JI5. They're a great person. It has nothing to do with JI5. Maui Swift, again, if you want to direct your complaints, please direct them to Kevin about Kate Peter instructing him not to allow mention of Grant or towels. I don't know what to tell you. We're not going to have JI5 be a proxy for what Kate Peter did. I feel very personally about that. I love all of you dearly. None of you have done anything wrong. I understand the politics of this, in my opinion. I'm asking us all to show compassion and be nice to each other because it's way deeper than anyone else realizes. And JI5 has nothing to do with Kate Peter telling Kevin not to allow mention of towels or Grant. And I could have reported that weeks ago, and then we wouldn't have to now deal with absolving JI5 of this delicate political situation. But I'm telling you, it's not JI5. It has nothing to do with JI5. It's never had anything to do with JI5. It's Kate Peter. And so please don't hold JI5 accountable for Kate Peter. I hate when Kate Peter puts other people out as lightning rods for her bullshit. JI5 did nothing wrong. And I just want to continue to reiterate this over and over and over again. I'm well aware. No, listen, message, Jor, you don't understand how hard it is to stand up to Kate. I do it, okay, because I don't give a fuck. Fuck your couch. Like, which federal agency do you want me to go to next? Fuck your couch. Okay? But I'm in a very unique position because of who I am and because of who I know, and that's different. I don't expect JI5 to stand up to Kate Peter. That would be ridiculous, okay? Kate Peter is malicious, in my opinion, has a lot of online trolls that do her bidding, and a lot of people who don't even realize that they're doing her bidding, in my opinion. And I don't want to see JI5 become a lightning rod for what was fundamentally, in my opinion, an edict from Kate Peter. So again, I'm not saying anyone should not be frustrated with Kate Peter. I just want to be clear that, like, Kate Peter pressuring Kevin and then the edict coming down, you got to understand how politics works. Trace it back to Kate Peter. bring it up with Kevin if you want to address Kate Peters' behavior. We don't have to take it out on JA5. That's all I'm asking. And I'm not saying Messy Jordan is not right to feel frustrated. I'm intervening as the towel executive and saying, let's focus on how this happened. Let's not take it out on any proxies. Let's get justice for Messy. Let's give a voice to people who might feel silenced because they don't want to stand up to Kate Peter. And let's remember that fundamentally we are all towels who love each other. And because we're acting from a good place, we can cut through that kind of political noise quickly without taking it personally. Messy, I know Kevin's channel meant a lot to you. I can sense it. And I think, even though JI5 has to be diplomatic here, they are hearing your input, which is that it was wrong for Kate Peter to issue that edict to Kevin. Okay? And I support you 100%, and I support JI5 100% in not being the proxy. And I also think people have to understand, you saying to someone just stand up to Kate Peter is the scariest thing in the world. You understand how this woman operates. She used to be a PI. She collects information on people. She gets close to them. She has moles, and she uses it against them, in my opinion, so they're scared to talk about what she does. So I don't ever want anyone to feel like they are pressured to speak out about Kate Peter. I understand, like, absent federal indictments, I understand it's much like Aiden, no one wants to talk. I'm never going to judge anyone for that. But I do think the people that see what's going on, come on, like it's politics. They're not going to come out there and say it. But I beg of you, don't take it out on the proxies. Come on. We are wonderful towels here. We've always shown that level of camaraderie, and we can continue to do it, okay? And it's not Kevin's fault either, please. Kevin is sick. He's a good man, and like Kate Peter is brutal. Okay? Do you understand that Kate Peter one time? So, right after Lindsay's phone got leaked, about a month or two after, Brian Tully released a 15-year extraction of Lindsay's phone with naked pictures of her giving birth on it. Lindsay had approached the Court TV producer, like sua sponte, and I'll never forget the day that it was that day. I was talking with Lindsay and Kate, and I'll never forget saying to Lindsay, hey, I think people are trying to keep you from the media to protect Brian Tully. Here's Anjanette Levy's contact information. You should reach out to her directly. And I'll never forget what Kate did next. Kate got up. Kate walked over. Kate, unbeknownst to me, whispered to Lindsay, just go along with this. Kate proceeded to go outside. I thought she was just vaping. She came back in and immediately proceeded to talk about a fake double date that she was going to set up with Lindsay in a way that was designed to induce a reaction to drive Lindsay and I apart. What? Why would Kate do that kind of thing? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But it just shows, I saw it firsthand, and it shows the depravity of this human being. So please don't ever take it out on someone because they're unwilling to stand up to her. You could be the most powerful, brilliant, resilient human in the world. It's horrifying to stand up to Kate Peter, okay? Same thing with Aiden. She just wears the mask better, in my opinion. So, no, I won't allow it. I just think we can come to a resolution of this that involves the person actually responsible being accountable and not the proxy, okay? JF5 is a wonderful human who's been here a while, Messy. We appreciate you as well. So, yep. So, again, and no. Messy, I don't think it's JI5. I'm trying to understand your perspective as well. And Messy, we can talk more about this. I just implore you, let us get an answer, okay? Like if we can get more context, like for example, Maui Swift is a very smart person. If we can get more context as to the edict coming down from Kate, then I think no one's going to hold it against Kevin. No one's going to hold it against JI5. People will start to see this is just one example that I know it's close to people's heart. I understand how much this means to some of you because a lot of you watch Kevin's channel, a lot of you watch this channel, so for you to have to be on eggshells because Kate Peter has issued some kind of weird edict about Kevin not allowing people to talk about Grant or towels, I mean, you know what I'm saying, that we totally can find common ground there. So yeah, no, and it's no. Listen, Messy. I think what I've been trying to say is let's just figure out what happened, and then both, I think, your very genuine feelings about a chat that clearly meant a lot to you, and then maybe like Kate Peters' sort of role in it all will help us understand. And if that's not an appropriate solution, it's okay. You two don't have to interact. But I see so much goodness in both of you, and I would just plead with you, because this is I'm not doing this gratuitously. I have a point in doing this. I don't like to see Kate Peter push good people apart like JI5 and Messi because of complex politics. You know what I'm saying? We can find common ground. I know it. I believe in both of you. Yeah, no, and CJ5, you make such a great point. That's why I never brought it up. When I had this information for weeks, months, I have very good information. I don't care. You think I'm going to bring up sua sponte that Kate Peter told Kevin not to allow people to talk about me or towels? I don't care. I don't want to give them play on. I don't want to give her play. But the only reason this came up is because I didn't want to see two good people, both of whom I like very much. And I think if the full dynamics of this situation became clear, would be on the same page. Being hostile. And I'm not saying they have to be friends. I'm not saying that. You two want to not discuss. That's fine. But maybe there's an opportunity in that discussion to find what really went on. And also, fuck your couch, Kate Peter. Okay, so I'm not saying that it's not possible, Messi. It's just let's talk about it, right? Like, I'm absolutely willing. I want to have this discussion because I don't want anyone to feel like they weren't heard. All right, so we're going to keep listening to Turtle Boy. Don't worry, but I want to intervene here because I want both JI5 and Messi to feel like their perspectives were heard. You don't have to do it in chat. You can email me. You know how to find me. You can reach me on X, okay? And I will read everything, and then let's get to the bottom of it. It's not the first time I've come across this kind of political nuance, and I don't want anyone to feel like their perspective is getting lost, or I don't want anyone to feel like there isn't enough information for them to come to the full perspective. And I feel that way right now. So, Messi, it's more than just that. Yeah, I want to continue with the Turtle Boy Live, but again, the reason I intervened is I don't want anything to fester. This is a hyper-local community. Everyone in this chat knows each other for the most part, and I'd rather just deal with it directly. So yes, JI5, if you want to email me, that's fine. Messi, if you want to email me, that's fine. But for now, we're going back to Turtle Boy.
Connections that they can save you from anything, right? You'll be good. So that's the lesson that I believe that Colin Albert learned in this. So thank you. So it won't surprise me if Colin Albert goes and he's learned nothing from this. Why should he learn anything from this? He will hurt someone. That is the karma that I think is unfortunately going to come from this in the future, is that Colin Albert's going to seriously hurt someone in the future, because I don't think he's learned a fucking thing. And boy, when that...
The only person... Listen, Colin Albert, for no reason whatsoever, just a nice young man. I spent like 4 hours one day with Colin and his dad, not intentionally. I think I went to get pizza or something. No, I was my cousin at the time, unfortunately, had passed, and we were spending a lot of time. The funeral was in Canton, so we were spending a lot of time in that area. And I remember that summer I was also going down to D&E, kind of keeping an eye on whether they would protest across the street, so I would grab pizza. Now one day I remember, I don't know what I think I got a chicken calzone or something, so I had to sit there and eat it because I didn't want to drive with it. So I just sat and ate my chicken calzone. And I think Colin was there. It was during the summer. He must have been on break or something. And Chris was there. And, I've posted about this. Just wonderful humans, okay? I can read a vibe, okay? And, the vibe was, they're very fun-loving people. And, especially Colin just seemed like such a sweet human being, really interested, more so than anything else, in, trying to give vulnerable people in the justice system a voice, and just a genuinely inspiring person. It's a shame what he's been through. And part of it, in my opinion, was at Kate's hands, which is why I'm so incredulous about that rumor about the drugs, which I've just proven to you came from Kate. You're just a genuine person. I got the vibe that, he is growing up in this world where so many, whatever you want to call them, flower children, whatever they're called, what are they called? Not flower children. These kind of new generation are around. So there's just brilliance fucking everywhere. And I totally got the vibe that he was I can't believe like the vulnerable have been hurt so much in this process. This was like a year ago. And I could just see in him like the desire to take part in this larger systemic movement to right those wrongs. And I could just, he's young though. He's only like 18 or something, maybe like 17, 18, 19. I don't know. I didn't ask. But just, Turtle Boy has to read completely wrong. I don't think he's ever like actually talked to this kid, not to mention spent 4 hours with him. So he definitely never read the vibe. He definitely, I don't think, has actually talked to him. And that's why it's probably easy for him to say this shit. But like, that's, out of everybody in this whole story, like Colin Albert is like the least insidious. He's probably like the one person who's just kind of like, what the hell is going on? I mean, there are a few others like that, but he's like, why? Whereas some of the adults, I think, like are a little more involved in kind of like the politics of it all. So anyway, like when Turtle Boy like takes it out on him, like he's one of the like the defenseless people in all this. I get so frustrated. I can't imagine Colin Albert ever doing anything bad. He's such like a genuine good person. Like I can't even imagine him even having like knowledge of people doing bad things to like a vulnerable person. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the antithesis of what he's saying. Like it would break my heart. Not like I can't even imagine like finding out Colin would be involved in anything at all like bad, but it would break my heart if Colin even knew about something bad happening. And you know what I'm saying? Like I can't even imagine that. So, and I've talked to him, whereas I don't think Turtle Boy has.
Happens. Ooh, I'll be there to say I told you so. I'll be there. All right, next up. Okay, Raina sends $10, goes, listen, Turtle, I hope you thoroughly enjoyed your Friday night off from the Horror Tour. I missed your Aussie Insider interview of the day. Hashtag free Turtle Boy. Well, thank you, Raina. Grace sends $10, goes, hi, Turtle Boy. I also have ADHD and want to get my thoughts on the podcast interview dynamic. A lot of interviewers essentially goes talking about politics. We'll ask you questions that are long and convoluted, including their own opinion, because that's how their brains work. Being on the Horror Tour may make you extra burnt out on conversations when there isn't chemistry. I totally get you on that one. Totally got you on that one. Thank you, Grace. Jody sends $10, goes, I'd like you to dance for me, please, Daddy. You know, I got no rhythm. Homeboy got no rhythm. Sorry. Loving your work, insight, and perseverance. AJ was great, but I loved your sit down with Andrea the most. And love and support from the UK. Yeah, Andrea was great. She had the most memorable line, I think, of any interview I've done, which was, who does Turtle Boy have a Turtle Boy? Like that was probably the best line from all these interviews, I think. So thank you for that one. Mary sends $10, goes, as always, thanks for your passion and hard work. Please remind people of the fundraiser for Dave Finnerty on August 10th at Two Jerks Barbecue in Raynham. Dave did not write or sign off on any false report, but was convicted of aiding and abetting false reporting anyway. Everyone can get tickets on the Eventbrite under the name Standing Together for Justice. Thanks, Aiden. You're right. And that's another example of what pisses me off about the feds. This guy, Dave Finnerty, he's an MBTA cop, has 2 young kids. His house was raided by the FBI when his children were home. And he's charged with signing, he's not charged with beating anyone up. He is charged that one of his underlings, an MBTA cop, beat up a homeless man and then lied about it in a report. And the charge is that he, Sergeant Finnerty, signed that report. That is the charge. And he went to trial. He had his house raided by the FBI. He had a trial in federal court, and he was convicted of, I don't even know what the crime was, signing a false police report. I don't even know. And he's facing like 20 years in jail. He's got 2 kids. And it's like, bro, this is what the feds are doing. You have all this time and shit for that. You know? Yeah, the cop who beat up the homeless guy who actually did the beating got nothing. We'll spend 0 time in jail. Nada, nothing. The actual guy that did the bad physical thing to somebody else because he ratted on him, because he threw it all on his boss, right? He testified. He turned state's witness. I hate that shit. Those people are called rats for a reason because they're criminals who will do anything to save themselves. So anyway, I would like to do more on Dave's story because I think it's a real injustice, and thank you for that one. Okay, Courtney sends $5 and goes, you're the best, Dr. Turtle Boy. I had to stop watching the interview. I don't have ADHD, and I couldn't keep track of what you were being asked. Lots of love from British Columbia. I mean, yeah, BC, Canada, right? Thank you. Erica sends $5, goes, hey, yo, Turtle, I'm eating a strawberry shortcake ice cream bar, and it's the same color as your shirt. Also, I can see why these gals are so obsessed with you. You are very charming and endearing vibe, and I can't look away. Love you. Strong. Stay strong, Turtle Boy. Well, thank you. I am, you know, I don't want to sound cocky, but I am charming. I give myself that. I am somewhat charming, so thank you. Next up, Carrie Roberts Mailman, who we all love, sends $20 and says, word on the street is the reason that Jessica Leslie's sentence was so short is because she gave up McDonough. Oh, developing. They might be on. If I'm McDonough at this point, I'm shitting my pants. I'm starting to get real worried because the feds might be coming for him now.
Yeah, no, here's the problem. I can tell, like, that chat seems a little weird because I think Aiden's more worried that, like, Sean knows, like, what Aiden was up to. That's a telling response. He's talking about Sean, who did the interview on Towel Channel the other day.
Roberts Mailman, who we all love, sends $20 and says, word on the street is the reason that Jessica Leslie's sentence was so short is because she gave up McDonough. Oh, developing. They might be on. If I'm McDonough at this point, I'm shitting my pants. I'm starting to get real worried because the feds might be coming for him next. I mean, let's be honest. He's the guy, right? I mean, he's the guy they all want, not me. No one else.
I know how the system works, okay? And I'm not saying that Turtle was infiltrated. I heard there's rumors that he's an informant. Listen, do I believe it? No, but I'm not going to take the risk. I'm not going to take the risk that Yuri or Tully or say, give us McDonough, because let's face it, I'm the guy. I'm a former law enforcement guy. Trust me right now. There was something that was said a long time ago when I was coming up as a rookie. You can have Pablo Escobar, okay? You can go up.
Okay, yeah, he's the guy. He's the guy. So let's be honest. He's the main target. So maybe they're finally going to get him. I don't know. If I was him, I'd be taking out my SIM cards and throwing him in the Gulf of Mexico. That's what I'd be doing right now, but I don't want to encourage him doing that. So, okay, thank you. Yes, and Sean recently went on Grant's show. Oh, if you guys missed it. McDonough he's back. He's looking for a platform. He went on Grant's show, and Grant and him just had a jam session that everyone should listen to. It is fucking, imagine those two in a room. Grant's high and doing his normal thing, and then Sean's on there, and they have just, oh, dude, he went on Grant's show for like an hour or so. And
it was actually an hour and 45 minutes. And listen, the other thing is, he's so funny. He's like, Grant's just doing his normal thing. Yeah, Aiden, I'm pretty good at it, and I think you are slowly starting to realize it. He's being a lot gentler. Grant's just doing his normal thing. Well, oh, yeah, solving Watergate, doing my normal thing.
they just had, like, it was everything you dreamed of.
Oh,
and
please
more.
play some
Like,
of
it was
it.
amazing. You got to hear it. It's fucking
Oh,
wild.
please play some of it.
So thank you for that one.
Oh, come on. How are you going to do that to me? How are you going to do that to me? I threw my cigar. Do you understand? I became so incredulous, I threw my cigar. Hold on. I'm going to get it. Oh, no. Ladies and gentlemen, do you understand? Do you understand that this man, how are you, first of all, it was an hour and 43 minutes. Now, how are you going to talk about it and not play? You know what? You know what's interesting? I bet he couldn't find a single clip he wanted to play from that interview. But yes, no, and yeah, it's absolutely okay. I'm going to intervene again. It's absolutely okay if people, I totally get, and I just want to be clear. I have seen a lot of people, and it's still very active. Okay. So it's like after, if Birchmore indictments come down, Messy, how about this? Can we table this pursuant to the Towel Roberts Rules of Order for 60 days, 30 to 60 days? I'm not saying that you are not entitled to express, and I'm not your request. I'm not saying that JA5 has to answer it. But in the interest of everyone feeling welcome, and in the interest of situations still unfolding, and in light of Towel having seen multiple people initially look at Cape Peter one way and then come to feel a different way in time, can we table this for 30 to 60 days? I believe we will then have sufficient information to be able to appropriately move forward. At that point, I think Steph has the right idea for now as well. I would just ask that we can have two people in this chat who are more than capable of not engaging if they don't want to for the time being. And yes, we are the type of stream, even though there's a lot of people who come in and out, who will pause if two people are very important. It's a little towel and valuable. JA5 and Messy Towel have been around, and Messy Towel clearly cares a lot about what they have experienced. JA5 Towel clearly has their own perspective and has been through their own experiences. Both of them are important. Neither of them are unwelcome. Both of them have friends here, and we will not create a situation because of very complex politics. And I understand it's more than just Messy defending Little Towel in this stream, but it's a history where there's a lot of complex overlapping socio-political circles of influence that came together to try to make people feel uncomfortable if they supported each other on this stream. Obviously, that would have undermined a very beautiful and flourishing community that has happened, and I don't think that, at least in this one specific case, the vestiges of that legacy need to necessarily carry forward to the current day in light of rapidly evolving circumstances, and thus I'm just asking for a 30 to 60 day table. So, no, okay. So, again, Messy, I'm just imploring you, maybe we'll get more information in time, 30 to 60 days. No, but it's Messy, it's not that simple, so I just want to be very direct. It is not as simple as one over the other. Like, there may well have been people who are saying, why is Kevin acceding to Kate's request about being so hostile to people who talk about towels or Grant? We can't allow Kate, in my opinion, to escape accountability because of proxy. All right, we just shouldn't. If the issue is about Kate, we all should, in my opinion, JI5, Messy Towel, we don't have to do it together, but through email, JI5, you can email me, Messy, you can email me. Let's continue to talk about this, because if it really was the case that JI5 Towel has always liked Towel Channel, but was in a position, either at one time or another, where there was political pressure, why would we ever make them feel unwelcome? That means that instead of just caving to the political pressure, they continued to support this channel and show up. So Messy Towel, what you might have seen as an initial kind of like overbearing act, may have actually just been an attempt to kind of maintain a delicate diplomatic balance. And Tao understands that all too well. So I just have so much sympathy with JA5, and I just want to continue to recognize that although I'm not by any means suppressing this conversation, I think in light of more information and 30 to 60 days, we all will be able to come to an accord and everyone will be able to feel heard. If you both didn't matter to me, I wouldn't do this. This is a tightly knit community. We will take the time to do this kind of thing. And so I appreciate everyone. Hi, Humanimal. It's great to see you. Thank you, Steph, for mediating. Listen, I wasn't there, all right, folks, but I really I wasn't there. I don't know the context. For the time being, in the spirit of compassion, this is what Tal would do. Even if I was privy to this stuff, I would still try to look for the good, you know? I would look for the good, okay? And, we don't, hello, and so... That's exactly. I think a lot of us here. I'm not frustrated with either Messi or JA5. What I'm sad about is I wouldn't want anyone in this chat to feel, especially when they've been here for months and months, to feel that because of these sort of extraneous political issues, which fundamentally trace back to Kate Peter, that they're unwelcome. That would make me sad. And even if it's even one person, that's too many, for me. And is it the biggest deal in the world? No, but it is to me, All right, thank you, Steph. I'm ready to move on. I can only imagine where this Turtle Boy podcast is going.
Maureen sends $15, goes, we're addicted to your whore tour, the good, the bad, and the cuss words. Let the good time tunes roll, man. While I'm here, our family would love for you all to try our Doman's horseradish, because when only the best will do, we bring the heat. Thanks for the plug, Doctor.
Yeah, and I'll just echo this. So there are a lot of people, and Maui Swift is one of them. There are a lot of people who have known Little Towel, for a while, and despite, I'm sure, pressure from the Kate or whoever by proxy or directly, still stayed and supported this channel. And maybe they had to play the game. I don't care. Do you think I care if you, and now I don't know what happened with other towels, but do you think I care if you insult me in other channels, so that you can don't have to get bullied by Kate Peter? No, I don't care. If you told me that the reason you were doing that is because you were worried that you'd get pressured by Kate Peter for supporting me, I'd be like, I don't fucking care. I do not care. Use me that way all you want. I don't read it. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. It will roll off my back. So I just want people to extend the courtesy that I would extend to others, unless I will tell you if I think there's something really insidious going on. I don't. In fact, I think the opposite. I think JF5 and Maui Swift are very good people. So I'm just give a little faith in Towel, and I think Messi is a very good person too, and I think Messi is right in their feelings. But just give a little faith to Towel. Love you too, Anthony Barton.
Carry on. Free the turtle. I've never even tried horseradish. I don't even know what horseradish is. The only time when I hear the word horseradish, all I think of is that scene from The Wire where Naming Bryce is dead. Weebray Bryce is giving up he's taken all the murders, all the bodies found. He's like, oh yeah, I did that one, so no one else has to go down. And he's taken life in prison with no parole. And he's like, they ask him, he goes, yo, another pit sandwich and some potato salad. I'll take a couple more murders. And then they go, how do you want that? It was extra horseradish. I don't even know what horseradish is.
What is he talking about?
Loves that shit. Whatever
what
it
the
is.
Fuck am I listening to?
I'm sure it's delicious. Thank you. Next up, Jason Good says, please play the duck video again. Also, here's $20 for pizza, so you don't have to steal a pizza again. Well, thank you very much. I didn't steal the pizza. It wasn't stealing if it's uneaten. If the guy's not eating it, then it's fair game to eat. And I'm not, but I won't be doing that this time around because I'm with the kids. And so, there will be no drunken nights in Provincetown this time around. So thank you for that one. Jason. Maybe I'll play the duck video at the end. All right, next up. Mango sends $25, goes, if the McAlberts weren't worried about the Petro, the world would have sent Chubbs McCabe, but they'll probably sent Brian Albert. The McAlberts weren't worried about the Petro. Right. I see what you're saying there. Thank you. John Barron's diseased taint linker sends $5 and goes, listen, Turtle, fuck these commenters. You should be more of a cunt to some people. Thank you for your YouTube presentation tonight. Well, thank you. I tried my best. Chris sends $100. Whew, thanks, Chris. Says, how about we talk about Brian Albert on the ABC interview, saying he already knew John was dead by the time the first responders showed up at his house, and he called it a murder. Was this a shot at someone out there? Free Turtle Boy. No. He already knew he was dead. Is that what he says? We'll have to revisit that sometime. No, you paid $100. Let me pull up that if I can find it real quick. Let's see, Brian Albert 2020. Brian Albert, Matt Gutman. Yeah, I can't find it. I don't even know what to search. Nothing comes up on YouTube's really bad with like their search function. Like that should be the first thing. When I search Brian Albert, Matt Gutman on YouTube, logically the first thing that should come up is Matt Gutman's interview of Brian Albert. But it's not. Like I'll show you what happens when I Google that and when I search it. This is another thing that pees me off. Shitty search engines. Like Google owns YouTube, right? Like they should have the best search engine. And so, actually, did I spell Gutman wrong? Is that the problem? So I see a Court TV link. I want the actual thing. I see this. Matt Gutman opens up with struggle about panic. Cross-examination. Nope. Statement release. Nope. Like how with that? So anyway, send it in if you got it. Okay. Next up, ABC took it down. Oh, interesting. Cool. All right. Next up. All right. So that's that. Let me read some Cash Apps here. And then I want to talk about this other thing. All right. Slayan sends $5 and goes, book Rex for your son. Wings of Fire and the Wild Robot. Okay, so I'll pass that along. Thank you. Holly sends $20, goes, everyone, please like and subscribe. Well, thank you, Holly. Yes, please do that. Like and subscribe, folks. Chad sends $7 and says for iced coffee. Well, that was a cold. I got hooked on Starbucks all of a sudden. Starbucks cold brew. I never thought I'd be a cold brew guy. I don't even know what the difference is between that and coffee, but I love it. And that was like $5.60.
Okay, well, I'll be happy to explain this to you. Cold brew is iced coffee that is brewed overnight in a special way. It's not really nitrogen coffee, which I tend to prefer a little bit more. If you want more of a rich, like a nitrogen coffee, like a small is like 3 regular coffees. A cold brew, it's a little bit stronger. I think it's a little maybe darker of a blend. No matter what, it's going to come out a little darker. But like the process is different. It's steeped overnight. Just a little bit more complicated. And it definitely makes a richer cold brew. But not knowing what you're drinking or why it is different than one other. Like, why wouldn't you at least look that up? I don't understand. I mean, I guess you could just go into the place and be like, well, I'm going to order this thing. And I like it now. I don't know why. Okay, well, what if it's like 400 times the caffeine of the other drink? Wouldn't you want to know that? I don't know. I would.
Cents or something like that. Way too much money than I'd ever spend on a coffee, but I got addicted. They're good. It's superior. Like, I'm sorry. The iced coffee at Starbucks is superior to Dunkin's. So I get why people, and they're building one in Holden right down the street from me too. So that's going to be a situation. So thank you very much, Chad. Amy sends $10 and says, from Amy S. Okay. Yes, it is. Or, yeah. Okay. Okay. All right, cool. If anyone else wants to have their messages read out loud, the link to the Turtle Chat is on top, or you can cash at me at $ Uncle Turtle Boy. Okay. So let me address one more thing about this whole Fed thing. So I should not even be giving this person any attention whatsoever, but the video is so stupid that I just want to make fun of it for a moment. Okay. So let me pull this up. It's like, you know what it is, right? This thing. So, as you can see, Krusty Panties, if you just see how many fucking, like every one of her videos is about me. It's like a whole fucking channel about me. Everything revolves around me. It's fucking going back a long time. It's all just about me. All right. And so the latest one is about me.
On July 11th.
And it's about the feds coming. So I just want to show this because it's like retarded. And again, the sound of her voice is painful.
Oh my God. Sometimes I think that, like, why I think Kate puts out material just so Aiden can mock it. Like, Kate is not the one who has any, like, Kate. Okay, first of all, let me explain something to you. Let me be very gentle about this. Kate wouldn't know a source inside anything related to the federal government if it looked her in the eye. In my opinion, she's generally the type of person the federal government would investigate. Generally, just in my opinion. Okay? So Kate Peter has no information, in my opinion, about anything related to anything about this, about the federal government. Okay? Like, completely blocked off, blackballed. No, never, won't happen, no chance. You have a better chance of getting selected for the Olympics, Kate, and being on, like, the sprinting team than you do having information in any way related to anything about this. So the fact that that's what Aiden picks to comment on, it's just a joke. Come on, it's a joke. Like, you know, in my opinion, Mr. Kearney, that she knows nothing. She knows that she knows nothing. You two, for all intents and purposes, are equally, in my opinion, fucked, and fuck your couch. And also, thank you so much to the person who sent me a screenshot. I wouldn't say like I have a sardonic streak, but I will occasionally things like, I don't actually want to fuck a couch. I hope everyone understands this, nor am I saying like someone should fuck a couch. Like, this is a reference to a skit on the Chappelle Show. All right, so it's sardonic, esoteric layering meant to reference an obscure 1990s TV show by Dave Chappelle, which was really good. Like, I'm not actually saying anyone should have sexual relations with a couch. I just want to be very clear about this. But then the other thing is, it's just absolutely ridiculous that this is what he chooses to respond to. She knows nothing. She has no information. She's more likely to be the friggin' subject of an investigation than she is to have information about this. And this is what he wants to comment on. Okay.
Apologize for that. But I just want to address a couple things on there because the trolls have lost their minds with this. I thought they were crazy before, but this is like new level crazy. Ooh, serious.
I have no doubt the feds are coming.
Yeah, and this is the one thing I'll give her. Like, as far as I know, like, she does make, like, something, like, making videos. Like, she makes Jen Coffindale for videos and stuff. She does, like, I don't know if she uses AI. I get the sense that, like a lot of the videos that people put out either, like, start with her, she tells them what to do, like, in her circle. Like, they're okay. Like, she probably puts, like, a couple days into them. But they're not, like, they're very, like, flashy, but surface level flashy. Like, you could do this kind of video editing if you had like the Sony Vegas or whatever, like back in the day. Now you can do it with Canva. So there was a time where it would have been like, okay, like with Acid Pro or Vegas or whatever, like, okay, that's like a somewhat niche skill. Now it's a dime a dozen. Bro, you can go onto any video generator and make content. Okay, you can take thousands of gigs of files and move them around, edit them, like you could run a batch file. Like I can't. It's not even hard. So the one thing that like would have made this content okay, it's like somewhat superficial, like obsequious flashiness, doesn't even make it worth talking about. And there's no substance. There's no substance. Kate Peter, in my opinion, the entire time, in her involvement with this case, only undermined the Justice for John O'Keefe movement because, like, one, she uses ridiculous words. Like, she literally called one of the jurors a slur. Literally, an Uncle Tom. She said it. And she was doing stuff like that the whole time. She made a t-shirt with like kids in Africa wearing a t-shirt with like Jen McCabe on it. Like a racist meme, in my opinion. All right? And it's just constant, like surface level help undermining on the undermining it all behind the scenes. And then you get Aiden, who's like, this is great. Oh yeah, maybe that's not a coincidence. How useful was Kate Peter for Aiden Kearney, you know? And how useful was Aiden Kearney for Kate Peter? People should ask these questions. Maybe the feds are asking these questions. I don't know. I'm a little tout. This is the stream you want to tune into, in my opinion. I know nothing. I'm a little towel. What is going on? What is the government? Where am I? What is happening here?
Meanwhile, more fallout from the Karen Reed murder trial. A grand juror has admitted to leaking information. This is a woman from Drake-It who sat on the federal grand jury that investigated the state's handling of Reed's murder case.
The woman is now admitting that she broke the law by leaking secret information about the Karen Reed case.
On July 15th, the U.S. Department of Justice announced that Jessica M. Leslie, a 34-year-old woman from Drake-It, Massachusetts, would plead guilty to 1 count of criminal contempt for leaking federal grand jury information.
She kind of sounds like a duck.
Her punishment? 2 years of probation and 1 day in jail, waived.
Ooh.
Not a single day behind bars, despite admitting to a federal crime that undermines the integrity of the grand jury system. What makes this even more fascinating is the context.
Look how serious
the only individuals known to have leaked specific grand jury details.
She's so bad at it. Like in my opinion, all Kate wants is to manipulate, in my opinion, the Netflix producers into presenting her as the Charlotte of the internet. When in reality, and what's so funny about this is, I can't wait if they're not actually going to do it. They're not dumb, I don't think. But I can't wait for them to do it and then just like all hell to break. I don't think it will happen. I think they'll delay. But like imagine them getting left holding the bag. They like do this whole Netflix documentary and it's like centered on how Kate Peter's the Charlotte of the internet. And then like the Tully stuff comes out about the phone or Birchmore. And then it's like, oh, Kate, did you know about that? I'm going to Belize. I'll see you never. You know, like, so have fun in Belize. How was your book tour? I don't know if that's going to happen.
Oh, okay. So let's see this screenshot. What is this a screenshot of? All right. It says Turtle Boy at the top. Urgent.
Oh, this is probably from Turtle Boy to Natalie, depending on the date.
Do not publish anything on the report on Julie Nagel. What report? The one you sent me? John sent it last night. Anyone who questions the objectivity and veracity of his reporting, the USAO doesn't impanel a grand jury without a strong case. They rarely shoot and miss, especially in a case that's already being what.
So that was Karen trying to tell Turtle Boy, like, hey, the existence of a grand jury means there's something here. Yeah, you know, no, not really. That grand jury, I think, was just cover. Sean McDonough and I talked about it. It was just cover to look into the real investigation, which was Sandra Birchmore's murder. And so, like, Karen was kind of misleading Aiden in the beginning through Natalie. But I think Aiden probably figured it out eventually. I don't know. It's hard to get inside his mind. Like his motives are so difficult to understand because it's not just like self-preservation. A lot of it is that, but he's such like, he hides the ball a lot. And he's like Hideo Nomo. His windups are very, like they're designed to make you think he's going to throw one pitch and you don't actually see the ball until it's like coming at you. It's like you have like less time than a regular pitch when you're dealing with him. But what screws him is it requires this very delicate network. He has to manage a lot of people and keep them all in line. And there's cracks right now, and they are very serious cracks. And it really does go back to this sort of the way the federal grand jury in the summer of 2023 was pretextual, because to me, I don't think, maybe Aiden was like playing dumb with Natalie, but I don't think Aiden was ever playing dumb with Alan Jackson or Karen or David Yannetti. I think like Natalie was kind of used as the intermediary, but they had direct conversations of substance, and then they were saying to him, like, don't give Natalie too much, like, because Natalie's, I don't know her. I think she's a fine person. I've never met her, but as far as I'm concerned, I don't think she did anything wrong. I just think the breakdown in her relationship with Karen, because like so the timeline was Aiden and Karen started speaking in April of 2023. So Aiden was allegedly facing like an unrelated wiretapping charge out of Rhode Island, and Aiden reached out to Karen for help. Karen through Natalie. Well, it was really Jen Altman, who's a turtle rider, who knew Natalie, who told Aiden about Natalie, or who told Karen about Turtle Boy. And then I think it was Natalie who reached out to might have been Jen Altman. And then Natalie got put in contact with, or maybe Natalie talked directly to Karen, and then someone I think it was Natalie who told Karen to reach out to Turtle Boy, and Natalie, through Jen Altman, got Turtle Boy involved. Natalie used to do PR, so I don't know why Jen Altman is involved in any of this. She's a Jen Altman. I don't know anything about Jen Altman other than she's Jen Altman. So I don't know why Natalie recruited like Jen Altman of all people to get involved in this. But anyway, so then Natalie is the intermediary, but Turtle Boy between April and July of 2023 is actually talking to David Yannetti and Alan Jackson and Karen Reed directly on like Signal and other device and like direct calls and things like that. So it makes you wonder, like, and then to bring it back to Natalie then had a falling out with Karen in July of 2023 because Natalie called, like, so Natalie and Karen used to talk about houseplants, apparently, like they both really like houseplants. I don't fucking know. They liked houseplants. So then in July of 2023, Natalie calls Karen, and apparently she didn't want to talk about the fucking houseplants. She wanted to, like, she had an issue or something, and she wanted to talk to Karen about it. But then Karen was like, well, go fuck yourself. Like, I'm Karen Reed. Like, I don't want to talk to you. I have other things going on. That apparently didn't sit so well with Natalie. I can understand this. You, like, help your friend out for, like, 4 months, and then you're like, Brett, like, I'm going through a crisis. What's up? And they're like, fuck off. You're like, bro, fuck off. And so I could, to tie this in, I could see Jackson and Yannetti and Karen being like, Aiden, she's the intermediary, but like play dumb, okay? Like Karen will relay messages to you through her, but like play dumb, don't give her too much. Because Aiden and Alan and Karen had direct communication in April and May of 2023. They didn't need to just use Natalie, they could just talk to each other too. So it was simultaneous. There was a parallel thing going on. So even when you're looking at Karen sending messages to Natalie, for Natalie to send to Aiden, it's not the full scope of the connection between Aiden and Karen and Alan. And the reason that's relevant is I'm pretty sure that Aiden and Alan and Karen knew right away that one, the grand juror, like, was leaking, because they had been since August of 2022. And then I'm pretty sure Alan and David Yannetti and Karen potentially brought Aiden in, this is my opinion, on this sort of whole thing. Like, it's not a real investigation into John's death. They're looking at them about Sandra Birchmore, et cetera, et cetera. You can be helpful here. Look into look into Steve Miller and Buffalo Jim, related to the Crazy Horse 2 out in Vegas. Now, listen, if you want my, Murder by Maestro was talking about it earlier, if you want my direct opinion about what Aiden Kearney was doing in that summer, I'll show you that. And you can't sit here and tell me that the FBI wouldn't do something like this because, the FBI has been doing this stuff since, like, the early 2000s, and I've read the CIA and FBI documents from the 60s and 70s, as you all know, and let me tell you straight up, it's been way, way more intense than this for way longer than you realize. This is only the declassified stuff. Tell me if this sounds eerily familiar to Aidan Kearney's role in the summer of 2023 in the Karen Reed prosecution.
Was also playing offense, and he was playing for the FBI.
The feds came in and completely usurped the local police department investigation, which was going backwards, not even forwards. Nobody quite ever figured out what was going on. And now, of course, I can talk about both Buffalo and I were confidential informants for the FBI. And that started in 2002, and it lasted through 2007, the day the place was closed. And the confidentiality part is for 7 years, approximately.
So now you can talk about it. Well past that.
Absolutely. But for the 7 years that we were on contract with the FBI, so it wasn't a matter of just, I can't talk. I mean, I don't think I'd go to jail, but I could get in a lot of trouble. You're not allowed to talk.
Yeah. In 2003, the Crazy Horse 2 was raided by the FBI.
And so I was thrilled when I saw the feds step in. The police were told, butt out. When the feds had their raid, I was told about it because they wanted me to cover it, nobody else. I later found out what the real basis of the raid was. Can't believe the story either when I tell you, but I will. They were there for only...
Did you hear he said they wanted me to cover it and no one else?
One reason was to plant electronics. It was supposedly on the premise of drugs and guns. That wasn't why.
Was all it.
Now, this part isn't directly relevant, but also, do you remember when the Boston City Councilor, Tanya Fernandez Anderson, got arrested? Only WCVB was there to capture it. They wanted images of her getting arrested. They leaked it to the media. That's one thing they do. Now, listen to this next thing.
That was the cover. Yeah, that was the cover. And they were there. They planted so much electronics in there. It's cutting edge. I mean, only the feds would have what they had. That place was wired for the next 5 years.
This was the beginning of the end for Rick Rizzolo and the Crazy Horse 2. Over the next few years, the FBI, with the help of Buffalo Jim and Steve, surveilled and investigated the Crazy Horse 2 and its associates.
So my dad was a credible source to them.
Yeah.
When my dad said something occurred, it actually occurred.
Yeah.
But my dad would send in information to them, and I was told that it was very helpful.
My column was completely...
Okay, listen very closely to what Steve Miller, not what the Buffalo Jim's son is about to say, daughter, but listen to what Steve Miller's about to say about his column, about the way the FBI ran it, and then go look at Turtle Boy stuff from the summer of 2023.
Send in information to them, and I was told that it was very helpful.
My column was completely vetted by the FBI on a weekly basis, and that I would see things there that I thought were kind of interesting. They had how many places, how many links were there to my personal email address throughout, 10 maybe in each column. I didn't put them there. And all of a sudden, on Google and Bing and all the various search engines, if you type in Crazy Horse 2, here comes my column on the top. The next column, the next column. I mean, I'm taking up pages. So I begun to ask around, and the guys laughed and they said, yeah, we took care of that for you. You're famous. Okay, so I said, what am I supposed to do? I'm getting all these emails, people got beat up, they got this and that. He says, okay, that's what we want you to do. That's why we put you in there. He says, if it sounds legit, you've got to call me 24/7. And he says, and you give me the name of the person, give me a little scenario as to what they told you happened and their phone number, and we'll get right back to him. He says, you got to tell them they're going to get a call. A guy named Bobby, he's a federal agent. Well, 13 people in the next couple of years, that's as many as I was credited for, emailed me. And they were the federal witnesses.
Rick and the people...
Now, listen to that one more time. And again, just go read Turtle Boy's blogs in the summer of 2023. Just tell me if this all sounds a little familiar.
Very helpful.
My column was completely vetted by the FBI on a weekly basis. And that I would see things there that I thought were kind of interesting. They had how many places, how many links were there to my personal email address throughout, 10 maybe in each column. I didn't put them there. And all of a sudden, on Google and Bing and all the various search engines, if you type in Crazy Horse 2, here comes my column on the top. The next column, the next column. I mean, I'm taking up pages. So I begun to ask around, and the guys laughed and they said, yeah, we took care of that for you. You're famous. Okay, so I said, what am I supposed to do? I'm getting all these emails, people got beat up, they got this and that. He says, okay, that's what we want you to do. That's why we put you in there. He says, if it sounds legit, you got to call me 24/7. And he says, and you give me the name of the person, give me a little scenario as to what they told you happened and their phone number. And we'll get right back to him. He says, you got to tell them they're going to get a call. A guy named Bobby, he's a federal agent. Well, 13 people in the next couple of years, that's as many as I was credited for, emailed me. And they were the federal witnesses.
Rick and the
So, I mean, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. It all lines up. You know the. Oh my goodness! Hello, BGG Graf. I'm so glad you're here. It is so great to see you, and I'm so glad that Emily Suzanne is here and that some of the late night crew got to hang out with us. We don't do these late night streams. I'm off tomorrow though, so we'll do one. Now let's take a look. We're gonna continue Turtle Boys live, and we're watching it double speed.
Whatever. So this is a message between me and Natalie. And Natalie is speaking for Karen Reed. And so I'm on the left. And I'm like, so she sent me a report on Julie Nagel, who didn't testify in front of the federal grand jury, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe she did. I can't remember. But it was like a police report about Julie Nagel, I think. Whatever it was not like impounded or anything. It just wasn't public yet. But then she goes on and says, anyone who questions the
Okay, so why listen, that term is not ambiguous. She immediately starts Karen immediately starts talking about the federal grand jury. The report was clearly about the federal grand jury. Like, there's a paper trail. You all are out of your mind, in my opinion. Like, it's very obvious. Like, I think it's hilarious he picked Kate Peter to respond to, but like, even this evidence that, like, in her very good put together overview is damning for him.
Objectivity of Turtle Boys reporting. Just tell them the United States attorney doesn't impanel a grand jury without a strong case. So exactly, like, what does she think this proves? This proves what? That Karen Reed believes that the feds are actively looking into the McAlberts. Okay. What is this?
No, what it proves is that you got grand jury information in August of 2023. What is that, July? Sorry, I don't know. He didn't say the exact date, but I'm sure the dates are on there.
I don't get what they think this is like a...
Oh, well, it had to be between, not August is too late. It had to be May, June, or July, probably July of 2023. That's when that message was probably sent.
Bootleg microdots. This is like so bad.
I mean, he's not, at least we agree on that. Like, she's not good at what she does.
Karen Reed case, like witness names and testimony, are Aiden Kearney, aka Turtle Boy, in public, and Aiden and Karen Reed. Fascinating is the context. The only individuals known to have leaked specific grand jury details in the Karen Reed case, like witness names and testimony, are Aiden Kearney, aka Turtle Boy, in public, and Aiden and Karen Reed in private.
So we've leaked the names of grand juries and their...
Well, again, it was... So I doubt Kate will mention it, but it was Aiden messaging Lindsay in November of 2023 that demonstrated that Josh Levy was leaking that information to Karen and her team, which is even worse.
And their testimony, there's a big difference between saying who testified at the grand jury and what they said. We know who testified at the grand jury because they were seen in Moakley Courthouse. That's the tell. We don't know what they said, and go look at my reporting. I've never testified that, this is what Brian Albert said to the federal grand jury. I don't know what he said. I wish I knew. Jessica Leslie didn't tell me. I've never talked to her. So there's that. But go ahead.
Their own text messages.
There's just one issue. That was the story that they gave police. However, we know now that Caitlin... How does this say February 17th, 2024? When I was in jail on February 17th, 2024. I mean, this is just retarded right away. February 17th, 2024. Oh yeah, I remember that. I was in jail on February 17th, 2024. So I think...
That's true. He was in jail unless he couldn't have been live. Maybe she got the date. Yeah, she must have got it wrong because he was in jail from December 23rd until February 23rd, December 26th until February 23rd. So December 26th, 2023 through February 23rd, 23rd, 2024. So again, I told you she's not good at this. She literally got the date wrong. I bet he did do that live at some point in that range, like after he was out or whatever, but she got it, or before, but she got it wrong.
I got the facts right. Seems like the facts aren't right here. I was in fucking jail for that. And so what is she? What is this?
Testifying in public. And Aiden and Karen Reed.
Like, bro, she spent.
That's why he picks her videos to analyze, because she's so fucking bad at it. It makes it almost seem like it helps him when she does the videos. She's so bad at it.
So much time going through my old videos and clipping shit. Like, I would not be able to have the time to go back and find all this shit. I wouldn't. I don't have the fucking, and it's me. It's my life. I wouldn't be able to do it. I don't have the time for it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, you would imagine that it's automated. Like, do you not, like, look at those of us who have this stuff? Like, come on. Do you not see Murder by Maestro and people, like, all around the world? Bro, like, one click, bat file. Like, people run scripts way more complicated than keeping track of your YouTube videos. Bro, they are single files. You can just rip them with one download. The transcript is embedded in YouTube. It's in the API. Do you realize you can just query the JSON with a bat file? Do you even fucking know what I'm saying? And you think it's hard to fucking archive your content? Motherfucker. If I wanted to, if I was so inclined, and I know people do this, like 7 of them, I'm sure, across the world, you click one button, I could do it live. Just make my own recording, have the bat file generate a subtitle SRT file, associate it with the relevant video clip, and then store them all. Like, I store my own recordings. It's like over 4 months, it's maybe 1/4 terabyte. So yours compressed into like a relatively consumable 480p format. Come on. Like maybe 300 gigs to 400 gigs a year with the full subtitles, searchable and indexed. The transcripts won't be great, but come on. That's child's play. Easy work. Easy work. Easy fucking work. Murder by Maestro could write that shit in 30 seconds. He could write that shit sleeping, blindfolded, while gardening. Come on. You're so out of your league, Aiden.
Crust does. The Crust does. So listen to this. This is what she always does.
No, she's an amateur too. Both of you are fucking amateurs, and neither of you have any idea what you're actually dealing with, in my opinion. You don't speak the language. You don't understand. You never will. You don't understand.
Again, this is relevant because this is where all my charges came from. My charges all came from selectively edited clips that Krusty sent to Yuri Buchanan and Brian Tully and Ken Mello and John Fanning and Michael Parker.
Oh, no. Jew drops. This is not just me paying attention to this stuff. I definitely think that these shows he's doing were the result of a bump last week. You remember the bump in the Adelson case with the mom getting kind of approached or something? I think the slow leak of information about that grand juror, releasing information about the federal grand jury into Karen Reed, that was between August of 2022 and March of 2024 when Alan Jackson joined Karen Reed's legal team. So I'm somewhat convinced that grand juror, the release was to bump Aiden to make these videos and do things that would expose himself to liability. That's why I'm analyzing it, my dear friend. But yes, Jew Drops, you have a good time watching it. I know you don't love listening to him, but it is important.
It's all in writing.
Private, according to their own text messages.
But it's just one issue. That was the story that they gave police. However, we know now that Caitlin Albert testified in front of the federal grand jury, according to my sources at Mobley Courthouse, who saw them go in there and testify in front of the grand jury over the summer. I believe it was around July. So my friends, listen to what I said there. Listen to the exact words I say. In there and testify in front of the grand jury, Mobley Courthouse, who saw them go in there and testify. My sources at Mobley Courthouse. My sources at Mobley Courthouse, who saw them go in there, who saw them go in there, testify in front of the grand jury and testify in front of the grand jury. So I have sources at Mobley Courthouse who saw Caitlin Albert down there and saw her go into the grand jury room. I never said that they heard what she said. Just that they saw her down there and saw them go in. And that's where it fucking ends. Do these people not hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? Are they that easily deceived? And this is what I mean. But all of my charges came from things I said on YouTube that were selectively edited by a person with a history of taking things that I said and adding this, the musical background there, make, ooh, it's nefarious, there's background music, ooh, got him. And again, I would not be giving Krusty any attention at all if she wasn't the primary source of the charges. If she wasn't the only, if John Fanning didn't testify that she's the only person who has sent us any evidence we used. The only person. Over the summer, I believe it was around July.
Leslie's charge fits into that pattern like a glove. Yet instead of the DOJ throwing the book at her, they handed her a cushion.
Oh, yeah.
Let's rewind. Kearney's digital devices, 6 phones and 2 laptops were seized back in October.
Hey, there's Hardman, by the way. That's Hardo at my house. There's me in the driveway. So my digital devices were seized from the house.
2023, as part of ongoing state-level witness intimidation cases. He spent the last 2 years trying to block police from searching them.
Tried this.
Just a point, by the way. So this search warrant here that she shows.
So my digital devices were seized from the house.
2023, as part of ongoing.
That search warrant That's a little weird. I forget it. That might have been the Kearney search warrant. There was the Reed search warrant that should never have been made public. I still wonder how that got made public. I have questions about that.
Going state-level witness intimidation cases. He spent the last 2 years trying to block police from searching them.
Spent the last 2 years trying to block police from searching them. No, they searched my phone the second that they got them. We know that.
They searched the two most important phones right away. They searched the two most important phones right away. We saw some of the content and filings from Cosgrove and a little bit from Brennan. Like, they searched them right away. The other 4 phones, which aren't really important, as from what I understand, like, he has been fighting, but probably not because of these cases. And that's why the feds probably want him, bro. And did you notice that right after Cosgrove got the passwords for Aiden's phone like a week or 2 ago, all of a sudden the feds moved on the grand juror? I noticed. Come on. Hi, Natalie B. It's quite a night. Did you all notice, though, that right after Turtle Boy handed over his passwords, finally, to Bob Cosgrove, who was going to search those other 4 devices, the feds moved? All right, Brad? All right? And how much you want to bet that all those devices and all the content... First of all, listen. Okay. I don't know how to explain this to you all gently, but I just want to... It's not like it's not public. This has been out there for like 13 years, okay? I want to just explain to you how this works. Okay, so everything, except for very specific things, on the internet is captured. Use everything. And just treat the internet as a broad term for the cellular mobile data spectrum, the cellular wireless spectrum, the internet, anything that conveys data in the modern world outside of very specific devices, which we're not talking about, is on the internet, okay? All right? Everything that connects to the internet, look up Project Essalon, look up data upstream, it is all captured, okay? They don't necessarily use it in criminal prosecutions the way that you think they do, because that's not why they're doing it. They're doing it to protect us. There's a reason nothing ever happens anymore. Our intelligence is so fucking good that they just stop it. Nothing ever happens. Do you understand? Like, some attacks happen very rarely. For the most part, nothing ever fucking happens because our intelligence is so good. All right? Do you know why it's so good? Because we capture everything. Everything. I'm not talking about we as in me, but the United States. I'm part of the United States. I'm a towel, and I hate the damn commies. Everything. And I don't think people understand this. I don't think they get it. Everything. I mean everything. Listen, I know it sounds like a lot, but everything. Every piece of information from every device connected to the internet everywhere is stored in real time and saved, okay? It goes like through I'm not explaining it. It's complicated. We're not talking about code word classified programs, even though they're public. I don't want to talk about them. How it functions isn't important. The point is, though, that everything is logged, okay? So here's how the feds do it, in my opinion. It's something called parallel construction, okay? And what it means is you have everything you need. You see, the most valuable asset in an investigation, whether you can use the information or not, is having the full picture. Okay? So if you're the feds and you have the full picture and you want to get your target, that means you take information you got that you know and cannot use in a criminal investigation and then build that information up from the start. It's legal. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm telling you it's legal. It's highly controversial, but it's been tested before the courts. Okay? And so you have unconstitutionally obtained information. If you're the feds, only the feds have it. Then you have your target. You build up an investigation and obtain each piece of information that you got legally, or it's constitutional, but it's a gray area. You get each piece of information again through a legitimate constitutional process. That's the big leagues. What do you want me to tell you? So, like, he is playing with fire here because they don't. The search warrants once the search warrants start, once the complaints start, they already know everything. They don't move unless they know everything. That is the process, the complaint, the search warrant, all that stuff, the getting people's phones. That's when they want to reconstruct what they already know. That's when it's over. I mean, I'm telling you, same thing with Birchmore. As soon as they start doing that, it's over. Because they already know. They got you. All right? So, I don't know what he's doing here, but it's not wise.
Through Michelle Littlefield. They went through my phone, found my messages, and used those messages to fire someone. That's completely untrue. The only devices they haven't been inside of are old phones that were found in a fucking sock drawer. That were like from years ago. Which.
And guess who probably wants those more so than anyone else? The feds.
Do not have data on them from April 1st, 2023 to October 1st, 2023, which is the only time period that the warrant allows them to search for content.
Yeah, okay. The warrant that you know about. Not that I know. I'm just saying, like, there could be a federal subpoena, bro, for those phones. You have no idea. It's grand jury.
Like, they're old phones. They're from way before 2023. Therefore, if they get into those devices, they can't even use anything they find in there, and nothing in there would be useful because I didn't even know who Karen Reed was at the time I used those old phones. And it's like, but the music.
Yeah, but you know what you probably were doing? I'm just guessing. You might have been talking to, like, people who were weaponizing the government in some sense, in my opinion. Like, those are a goal. I really think something, it's just my gut. I really think the feds are about to bring down, because, like, I do think they're going to indict on the Birchmore stuff. I just sense it, right? But they're going to want to, it's going to be presented as we didn't, like, pull any punches. We indicted on the Birchmore stuff, and then we indicted on the grand juror leaking and all this other stuff. And I'm telling you, I get it's going to be big. Whatever it is, and he doesn't know, I don't know what Aiden thinks is coming, but in my opinion, he doesn't know what is coming. That's why this is big. Like, this is the moment. He's about to go on vacation. I don't know if it's going to be this week, next week, as to when all this goes down. But, like, I had a sense even before the juror got, like, the information came up. I couldn't confirm it, you know? But I just, like, I don't know, the news world talks, like, and we have our, like, little meeting, not like meetings, but, like, we talk. Like, all of the, like, prominent journalists have some kind of relationship with each other at the big institutions. Like, I'm not going to name names, but, like, that's how you know. Like, we all talk, okay, individually or whatever. And, okay, so I knew, like, I didn't know what, but I was like, there's no way these, like, 7 disparate people who are all very good at their journalistic, like, jobs are all telling me something's coming when it's not, like, you know, something's coming, right? So, you know, I'm telling you, my gut right now tells me, like, big. You know, like, everything's leading up to this. It was all, like, that's why analyzing Aiden's stream is important right now. It's all leading up to this. Whatever's coming, I do not know. But, like, this is a signal that bump the other day with the release of the information and then how he's reacting. It just doesn't show someone who's, like, when you are in command of a situation, and I'm not talking about myself, I'm an observer of this, really. But when you are in command of a situation, like, you have this aura of, like, okay, like, I know something you don't know. You know, like, you will just vibe it. Like, it's very clear, like, you don't need to act from a place of desperation or nervousness or whatever. You don't need to guess because you know. So you act kind of more, it's hard to veil it because you know, so you're instinctively going to be like, well, I don't need to be nervous. Like, why? Like, I know, you know, and your analysis isn't going to be kind of like what he's doing here, which is very kind of loose, kind of surface level, kind of nothing of substance. You're going to, like, convey through targeted, structured relaying of information what you know. You're not going to do it directly. You're going to do it like I am reporting these days, okay? He is not doing that. You can tell a distinct demarcation in how I report what's going on now, in my opinion, and how he reports. That is not reporting. He's just panicking. There's nothing of substance. There's no details. There's no information. There's no reporting. There's no sources say it's him reacting, and he's terrified, in my opinion. He's nervous because he doesn't know. The worst position to be in, and I'll tell you, this is when you know you're in trouble, is to have no information, because that means they're coming for you, in my opinion. Like, if you are out of the loop completely, and I think Kate Peter and Aidan Kearney are two very good examples of this right now, in my opinion. If you're out of the loop completely, you are the target. Might not be like the big fish, but you're the target. So I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, it must be serious because the background is real serious, real serious.
That fight ended on May 30th, 2025, when a judge rejected nearly all of his privilege claims, except for attorney-client communications, and ordered his team to provide a list of search terms to filter out privileged material. His lawyer did so on June 2nd. Just 5 weeks later, on July...
Yeah, exactly. We were like, fuck it, go ahead. If you want to go through I told Bradel this. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about the phones. Go ahead.
You know, it's so weird. I don't know why, like, this part wasn't included. It's a long video, and I'll have to look at Kate's whole video. I don't want to watch it. She sounds like a duck. But anyway, I'll watch it because I want to see if she uses Exhibit O. And, of course, there is direct evidence. So I'll just bring it up for you on the screen now, actually, because... Oh, hold on. Oh, no. Oh, no. No, it's fine. I'll just bring it up for you on the screen now because I have this very specific piece of evidence just at the ready all the time. All right? So let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. There is a piece of evidence showing that it wasn't just Karen telling Aidan grand jury information. There is a piece of evidence that shows, ladies and gentlemen, in fact, okay, that Aidan told Lindsay Gattani in writing that Josh Levy was the one engaging in that leaking of information. And how do I know that? Well, look at what's on your screen right now. And if Kate doesn't use this in the video, I hope some of you will slowly start to realize like what this woman is capable of. Like, if you don't use this, this is an exhibit from the search warrant of Karen's phone. Now, do you see what this says? This is these are texts between Lindsay Gattani and Aidan Kearney. Okay? Aidan says to Lindsay, I found out this is on November 28, 2023 at 6:38 p.m. Eastern. I found out some information on the way home about the feds that I will not be making public. And then he follows up with questions been asked. And then Lindsay says, really? Good or bad? And then Aidan says, yes, they requested a conference call over the weekend. Josh Levy himself asking questions like, is there a chance the trial date could be delayed? Only one reason to ask that. Levy's asking for all communications with the DA's office. Levy's asking for Jen McCabe's cell phone records be sent to the U.S. Attorney's Office as soon as the Reed team gets them. Keep in mind, the feds likely have Jen McCabe's phone records already, so they may want to see them because they suspect whoever hands them over to the defense will delete things that won't match up with their records. Then Aidan says the mere fact that they are the ones seeking out Karen's lawyers tells you that this is far from over and that they want more info for this case. Josh Levy asked Karen and her team specifically, quote, if you are contacted by media in the next coming days or weeks, we would appreciate if you did not mention us working together. Why would he ask that unless he knew something was going to happen and they were contacted for comment on it? So do you see what I'm saying? Like, look how bombshell this is. Like, this is very, very, very important information. But let's see if Kate includes this in her document. Do you think she will? No. Kate's a little weasel, in my opinion. Aren't you, Kate? He's a little Oompa Loompa. You're a little weasel. You two deserve each other. Go live in the fucking woods somewhere, in my opinion.
Have a blast. You can't read attorney on the newer phones. Obviously, you can't. You've already read them all anyway, so what does it fucking matter? You just want the messages with Karen and her lawyers, which you've all read. So have a fucking blast. You read everything in there. Don't tell me you didn't. But I'm like, I don't give a fuck about the old phones. If they can find a way into those phones, they can't even read legally what's in there anyway because of the warrant, and there's nothing incriminating.
Or the feds want them. Come on. I'm not stupid.
And I told her that I don't want to spend a minute of my time arguing about this with them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to waste your time trying to prevent them from reading shit on an old phone, you know, that I don't give a fuck about, you know? Go ahead. Go on my old phones. I don't even know if they're my phones. It could be my ex-wife's.
11th, the feds filed criminal information in U.S. District Court.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I understand. Oh, this is brilliant. Do you hear what he just said? Why does he say these things on stream? He was saying right there, oh, like, it's out, like my lawyers told me, he didn't say it that way, but he was like, it's outside the scope of the warrant. You know, like, the old phones, the warrant's only for like certain dates. So I just agreed to let them have the passwords for the old phone. Bro, if the feds want that information and they don't want you to know they want it, one of the best ways to get it would be you giving up those passwords. Which, oh my God, that would explain exactly why as soon as you gave up the passwords, they announced the indictment of the juror, or the complaint against the juror. You understand that, right? In my opinion, all of you, right? The feds, they don't even need to let him know or issue a subpoena, which he then would really freak out about. If he just hands over the password to Cosgrove, boom. Move on a subpoena right then. If you're the feds, it's in the care, custody, control of Cosgrove. He has the password. You subpoena him. Or you just get really, you just get the information from him. But if you want to use it, you subpoena him. So, listen. I don't know, like, oh, you got a warrant, which comes with a subpoena. Like, but you subpoena him, you get a search warrant, and then you subpoena the document, the whole files if you're the feds. I mean, that would make a lot of sense. I couldn't figure out the timing of the juror announcement. Like, why hold it for that long? Like, why that moment? Why bump right then? It was all just so strange. And then it's now starting to make a lot of sense. It was because he gave up the damn phone passwords. This has got to be much bigger than just Karen Read. Like, they want to find out his connections in government. This is going to be apoplectic. Watch. People are going to start siloing themselves from him. That's why he doesn't have any new stories. He's hot, like, right now. I don't mean hot, like, physically. I mean, he's hot property. If you're hot on the block and the block's hot, like, nobody's going to talk to you. Bro, like, he's hot, right? And all his agents and Kate's agents got to be freaking the fuck out. Because, listen, if it's really a bump, then everything that's happening right now and over the few next coming weeks is designed to catch people. They all got to be freaking out. They got to be thinking that every single thing is monitored, and you can't not be monitored by the feds. If the feds want to watch you, they'll watch you. This is incredible. But that phone password, it's got to be bigger than, it's got to be, it makes very much sense, the timeline of it all. The phone passwords, the announcement of the thing with the juror. But what doesn't make sense is it technically could relate to this because Aiden was talking to Rachel Rollins, like way back. Oh my God. Like the only thing that makes I really have to think through this in real time. The only thing that makes all of this make sense is that Josh Levy pissed off the wrong person, which I've been saying all along is very likely because he sued President Trump. If you start peeling back what happened in that old liberal DOJ, Turtle Boy had contacts with Rachel Rollins during the Markey and Kennedy Jr. Senate race. Like, I'm telling you, Turtle Boy was talking to people in the political establishment high up, especially disaffected liberals. Bro, you get those phones, like, okay, you may not be able to use them in the state case, but bro, you could indict, like, oh my God. Like, it's, oh my God. 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 It's incredible. This has to happen, though. Like, this has to happen. Massachusetts needs this to happen. Like, I can't even imagine what U.S. Attorney Leah Foley goes home and thinks about at night. Because you're staring down. I have some sense of the scope of this. Probably one of the few people with unique insight into this. As to what she would be staring down. I've never talked to U.S. Attorney Foley. I don't plan on it. But the thing that I didn't notice and that I'm now putting together is that those phones are old, but they're not minor. They're only minor in the context of, like, the search warrant because of the dates and his charges. They're actually incredibly explosive if you're looking at potential corruption in Massachusetts. Wait a minute. That's impossible. Well, it would create a really fucking awkward situation. I have to really think about this. Because what I'm about to say is incredibly intense, if I'm right, about the Norfolk DA. Based on Kate Peters' visceral reaction in the past couple weeks to the Norfolk DA and like a lot of behavior of her friends and whatever towards the Norfolk DA, it makes me think that the Norfolk DA turned on the state police unit that he used to have attached to him. Now, here's why this is very complicated, because if I'm right about the withholding the juror's charge to bump Aiden, then that would require necessarily Hank Brennan's cooperation and Robert Cosgrove's, which would require the Norfolk DA's cooperation, but it wouldn't require the state police's cooperation. Now, say the Norfolk DA, hypothetically, was like literally like facing questions about Sandra Birchmore's murder cover-up, and like one way to kind of smooth this all over with the new DOJ would be like, okay, well, I'll give up my guys, like the state police unit that was involved in the Birchmore thing, but I'm doing a hypothetical, I as the Norfolk DA will also help you with this larger probe. Like, we can get a lot of people, a lot of Democrats in Massachusetts, just listen to this proposal. And then the proposal is have Hank Brennan and Hank Brennan and Robert Cosgrove help you with a bifurcated plan, operation. Part one of the operation, and I'm talking January 2025 and later, when this would be discussed with U.S. Attorney Leah Foley, hypothetically. This is my theory. Part one of the operation, have Hank Brennan run the second Karen Reed trial, have him run the case, but really it's a very tactical sting, okay? See if they try to influence the jury. We know that there were grand juror leaks, so just have that whole thing set up to try to see if anyone tries to influence the jury, okay? Simultaneously, you have Bob Cosgrove on the Aiden Kearney case. He's like a former judge. Like, he can do this. Like, Brennan easily could get read in on security clearance, whatever, if you need it to be like classified. So could Cosgrove. And then you have Cosgrove running the Kearney prosecution, and but what you need is those phones. Because it's not, you don't want Kearney for the wiretapping. Those are serious allegations, and the grand jury indicted him. But if you're the feds, you don't want him for wiretapping or WI or whatnot. What you want him for is what he was doing related to politicians and governmental figures and police and whatever, his sources that were like, not like giving him information, but maybe doing favors, stuff like that. Well, how do you get those? Okay, well, you got all his 6 phones seized. Now, some of them are outside the scope of the search warrant, but like, what if you keep maneuvering until he just gives them up? And what better way to get him to give them up by thinking that he should just give up the passwords because they can't be used in the state case anyway, and then they're used in the federal case. You see what I'm saying? If that's what happened, well, first of all, that is brilliant. That's why I'm saying the scope of it is brilliant, but it has to pay off. Because you have to, it's more than just Birchmore. It's more than just what happened with the phone extraction with Lindsay. It's more than just, it's incredible. It could bring down incredible numbers of people. They have to do it though. It has to work out. They have to be able to. For this kind of play to have played out over this long, there has to be a tactical end, and the tactical end isn't Karen Reed or Turtle Boy or Kate Peter or even the state police unit that investigated Matthew Farwell for Sandra Birchmore's murder, or Brian Tully related to the phone extraction. No. That's child's play. for something like this, that's child's play. It has to be public corruption, as I've said all along, and it has to span multiple counties, and it has to, that's why it has to be about Democrats. Like, the only thing is political impetus against Democrats. And you got to think about it in the larger picture here, right? Like, the old DOJ, the liberal DOJ, prosecuted like January 6th defendants. They were like, they're getting like decimated right now internally if they were involved in that. This is a very retaliatory, like, political administration, for good or for bad. It all makes sense. Like, this is the bigger picture. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, this has all been sort of a larger game since January of 2025, maybe a little earlier, maybe after November when President Trump got elected, but at least in January. It's all been a lot of larger tactical maneuvering, and I do think the juror leaks are important to the feds, clearly. I do think that is going somewhere, but I think it's only a stepping stone. Likewise, I think the Birchmore investigation into Farwell was also only a stepping stone, and the parallel investigations are designed to figure out what the fuck was going on. Now, the Birchmore probe started under the liberals, so it wasn't necessarily as, like, comprehensive. And when I mean liberals, so the old liberal DOJ was under, like, Josh Levy, Rachel Rollins, etc. They were like dyed-in-the-wool liberals, like anti-cop liberals, all right? And so some of the stuff they were doing wasn't like, it was okay, like, it was important to investigate the death of Sandra Birchmore's murder, the death of Sandra Birchmore and the cover-up, but it was very politically motivated, okay? This new so like there were tinges of sort of like, you know, impropriety, not in the Birchmore case, but in some of the other federal probes, like the Kevin Hayden investigation. It was very political, which never really existed. It was just Rachel Rollins trying to interfere in a primary. And because it was so political, but there was some merit to it, if you're the new U.S. DOJ, the GOP, under U.S. Attorney Foley, you got to keep going with the Birchmore probe, right? You got to keep going with it. But you look at it differently. You don't look at it just in terms of getting the state police, the unit that covered it up allegedly. You look at it in terms of getting the political players that enabled that hierarchy to exist for that long, in that place, in that time, in that unit at the Norfolk DA for so long, like 20 years for some of them. And then how it culminated in the Birchmore situation. Likewise, you also got to be thinking, okay, well, we now have this whole new opportunity. Like, we don't necessarily like Karen Reed anymore. We don't like Turtle Boy. They are actually like big conduits in Turtle Boy, more so than Karen, to like what's going on politically. So you bifurcate it. Now you have a tripartite breakdown. So you're the first component we mentioned with sort of the Birchmore case, the larger targeting of Dems. You keep that going. You end the probe into John's death and announce it's over, because that part you don't want to allow the anti-cop sentiment to rile up too much. It's nonsense. There was nothing there. The federal probe into John's death was over. Okay. But then, simultaneously, you are thinking about the federal grand jury leaks, which you probably know about already in January of 2025. And then you're thinking about Turtle Boy. Why? Because if there were federal grand jury leaks, then you would think about whether or not someone was going to try to compromise Karen's retrial, so you would set up a sting. If you were concerned, and why would you do that? Because that might lead you to some serious, like, siloed obstruction issues. That's like enough to look into that. Secondarily to that, you might then also realize that Turtle Boy and his involvement in all this isn't necessarily because he was enabling Karen. Like, Karen, if anything, was kind of like puppeteering him. But it's really that Turtle Boy has all these himself, like, connections within the political establishment or the police or what DAs, whatever, that could like expose people to liability for criminal conduct potentially. And then you think, okay, now we have a trifecta here. We have the Birchmore probe leading up the chain to Democrats. We have the Kearney connections leading up the chain to Democrats, including some in the old DOJ who this new DOJ doesn't like. And then we also have the potential obstruction with the Reed case. Okay, that's a multi-million, like by analogy, a multi-million-dollar federal case. That's the whole kit and caboodle. And I know it's very convoluted, but it's the only thing that makes sense out of why the juror and that information came up right after Kearney gave over his phones. I don't think we're ever going to find this out, at least in the short term, but it's what makes sense of all the chaos for me. So let's keep listening.
A telltale sign a plea deal was imminent. 4 days after that, Leslie waived her right to a grand jury indictment, pleaded guilty, and walked away with a sweetheart deal that doesn't even touch the low end of federal
Waived her right to a federal grand jury indictment? Maybe it's just not that serious. Maybe.
sentencing guidelines, which recommend 6 to 12 months for her offense level, even after point deductions. It hit the media and was quickly connected to the Karen Read case.
Connected to the Karen Read case. Connected. What does that mean? Connected how? Because she's on the Karen Read grand jury? Okay. So she leaked. Again, we agree. She chatted.
No. You got to read Pacer. The information doesn't say anything about what cases are. It just says August 2022 through March of 2024. Alan Jackson joined Karen's team in August of 2022. Then someone in the feds leaked to ABC, Fox News Digital, and the Globe that it was about the Karen Read case. That's called a tactical leak.
Up her girlfriends about the tea and told them, shh, don't tell anyone. As Hank says, shh, don't tell anyone. And guess what? They didn't. She never told me. No one told me.
And after that came the backpedaling. The lies, the kind of reaction you would expect from someone who could very well.
And let me explain a tactical leak, okay? A tactical leak is different. When you're in the DOJ, when you're in the DOJ, and you just leak personally, like Rollins did, that's a problem. But if you get the permission up the chain to leak something, you're allowed to do that. So that could have been a tactical leak. That's what I mean. Like telling ABC, Fox News Digital, and the Boston Globe that it was about the Karen Read case is a tactical leak. Emily, that's definitely fake. Jason is definitely, in my opinion, a Kate person and funneling information to her, and I think he's been doing it for a while. Now, Emily, I think that Garino, Sean was talking about, I don't know. I don't know much about Garino. I know that he was involved in the extraction of Birchmore's phone. Got to imagine he was involved in other extractions. So, like, was he told to do things? He was kind of a younger guy on the unit. Like, then he got hit by a drunk driver. Like, that was weird. There's just a lot of weird things that happened in the orbit of this case.
End up charged with federal crime. Aidan Kearney.
The crimes. She's like, they really think Karen Read's about to get another charge. Ooh, they're going to get her on conspiracy. No, there was a grand jury for that. Nothing happened. No true bill. Oh, but another charge is coming. They didn't go through the phones yet. Then they're going to get it now. They've been through the phones now. Nothing happened. I don't know when they're going to give up and realize you're never going to get Karen Read because Karen Read didn't break any laws, and neither did I. But again, there's me. There's me talking about me with the Mello shirt on. Let's see what she plays here.
For years, proudly flaunted his access to insider information from the federal grand jury.
I get emails all the time from people who serve on federal and state grand juries. They're not supposed to, yeah. But that's fucking trouble. It's trouble. I know shit you don't know. For all the people who doubt me, how did I know that Allie McCabe testified in front of the grand jury before everyone else did? I know the answer to that one. How did I know that Allie McCabe testified in front of the federal grand jury before everyone else did? Oh, I know the answer to that one. Someone saw her at Moakley. Boom, mystery solved. I don't know that she was down there in Moakley Courthouse. I didn't know the exact date when Colin Albert was down there. I didn't know that. I didn't know that Caitlin Albert and Brian Albert Jr. were down there. I didn't know that Jenna Cade was with her daughter in the courthouse when they were down. How did I know the names Adam Beach and Joshua Levy? How did I know all of this? Well, I guess it must have come from Jessica Leslie then, right? She's the only person in the world who could tell me that. A woman I've never talked. Oh, the jig is up. There's only one person in the world who could have seen them down there. They cracked the case, ladies and gentlemen. No, guys, how did I know all this? It's almost like I have sources. It's almost like I have people on the ground reporting back to me about what they're seeing in real life. So just know that when I say that the federal grand jury is not even close to being over, it is not even close to being over. They are gaslighting you. I'm telling you as a 100% matter of fact that they're nowhere close to done. Is there another grand jury for the Albert McCabe and Proctor one? Yes, so there's two grand juries. There's the grand jury that indicted Karen Read, and then there's the federal grand jury at Moakley Courthouse. And by the way, that video was dated November 18th, 2023. That was true. Proctor hadn't testified in front of the federal grand jury. He doesn't do that until February of 2024. That's when Proctor found.
That was the last interview, actually, because the grand jury ended right after that with no charges.
And it goes in there. Jenna McCabe, several days into. I saw you. First of all, the context of this is hilarious. When you realize that just a couple days prior to this, he's under so much stress because his son Colin testified in front of the federal grand jury, I believe on July 14th or 13th, and this happened on July 16th. And then on July 18th, Colin was interviewed by the state police for the first time. July, all that shit started going down.
Suddenly,
so because I knew Colin testified in front of the federal grand jury, because lots of people saw him down there, I guess the only person they cracked the case, ladies and gentlemen, it must be Jessica Leslie, whose phone they have, who if she was messaging me, they would have it. Yet somehow I'm not in trouble at all. Okay.
Began walking it all back. In a live stream following Leslie's plea, he denied any involvement or knowledge of the leak, despite mountains of past content suggesting otherwise.
What? We want to follow up on those leaks. We don't know anything about the federal grand jury. Like Karen's told the defense team was basically in the dark. The feds didn't tell them much at all. The feds never told them the thing. The feds would ask them questions, and they could glean information from the kind of questions, but they never knew specifics about what they were actually doing or anything like that, right? Until they got the report. They had no idea. And I love how this video has like 4,000 views. Like that's the funniest part about this is me even giving this any attention is like the best thing that could ever happen. Like might double the views. Might.
No, I mean, he only got like 8,000 views on this live. They both, so I hope folks understand. He gets like 20 to 60,000 views. Like I keep an eye on the metrics on his like lives that turn into videos. She gets like on her she doesn't really do lives, which is probably for the best. But she, on her video upload, she gets like on the Cyrax stuff, like 6 to 10K, maybe 15K on the Chili stuff, like 8 to 12, 8 to 15. But on the Karen Reed and Turtle Boy stuff, she gets like 2 to 4. Her audience doesn't like it. Like you can tell it's more like she wants to do it rather than her audience. But her audience is niche. It's a small circle. It's always the same people. It's like with this channel. It's the same with Turtle Boy. Like neither of them are competing for like millions of views. Like he has his 10 to 20,000 that watch. She has her like 2 to 10,000, like 2 for the Karen Reed material, 10 for the Cyrex material that watch. Like I don't get why they think about it this way. Like neither of them are like giant content creators. They're small niche like internet drama creators. Like that's what they focus on. I don't get why they won't just own it. Like they both think they're more important and bigger than they are. In my opinion, they're small niche internet content creators. Just embrace it.
It's just funny because like I put out a fucking video, 100,000 views, 2 seconds, not a problem at all, easily done. Her.
Oh no, bro. Okay, so some of your uploads, some of your uploads do see those numbers, but those are the exception. I mean, we can look at the metrics. It's on your channel. Like I look at a lot of them, and I'm talking within 24 to 72 hours. Like a lot of them do get like 20 to 45. I'd say that's a good amount. And I'm just doing off memory, so we'll look at the actual numbers at a certain point. But no, like it's rare that one of them gets over 100,000. Like 70 is good. Like recently, like I saw some of his lives even after a few days that were like 30, 35. Okay, in the past few months. And the other Karen Reed channels, like even like a guy who like walks dogs was pulling like 70. Okay, just interviewing Betero. So I think it's kind of a little bit interesting that he got like 9,000 total views tonight at the highest, and Kate gets like 4,000. Like their circles are shrinking. I think that's also kind of freaking them out a little bit because I think they're just out of the loop. They don't have much of substance. There's no reporting. It's just kind of yelling at each other and bickering, which is not really content. It's insightful. You have to read between the lines, parse all of it. But in terms of substance overall, there's not really a lot here. They're just bickering.
4,000. Like think of all the work and the hours that she spent into like in whatever, and then nobody watches it. Meanwhile, I go and do the hostage video impromptu. You know, I write a little script out. I read the hostage video, and 100-something-thousand views. Boom, done. What was going on? And so we can't read her defense.
You got okay. So the reason that got 100,000 views is it was a hostage video.
Somebody posting online that they claim to be a thorough grand juror. Okay, well, that's interesting information. We'd like to learn more about. That's good. 2 years ago, Incarnate learned about a potential source of leaked information from the thorough grand jury associated with thorough investigation. No, I saw a fucking comment, Dara, on a Facebook group. Oh, Dara. That's all. Oh, where do you see Dara? Live video from July 2023 seems very relevant 2 years ago. No, dipshit, Dara. It doesn't. Yeah. I know who she leaked it to because I talked to one of the many people she sent this information to about CDLs. Yes. You fucking retard. Yes. Oh my God.
Yes.
Stop with your internet. Yes. Daddy fucking report.
Yeah, let him do it.
Get him. You're not fucking reporter. You're not. You're some fucking idiot on Twitter. Yeah. Shut the fuck up. Get it. This is not Daddy fucking. This is what I fucking do. I couldn't say the time. I speak to Karen Reed regularly. She's the one that's interested in reading this shit. She wishes her defense team would like to learn more about the investigation. They don't want to learn more about it. When I say trust me, I mean trust me. I can't read. Okay. And when I say that, that's me kind of covertly telling you I have something. Okay. I can tell you what that something is. You need to trust me. Yeah. What that something is I got to Karen Reed. Yeah. Something is. Amen. I'm publicly pretending like I don't at the time, but I was. And that's why I said trust me. I can't tell you what I'm talking to Karen, but I'm talking to Karen. And so we both went through more information about this. So just trust me, bro. Just fucking trust me. Just shut the fuck up. Trust me. What's wrong with you? Oh my fucking God. Oh Jesus Christ. Wow. I hate these people. Oh,
Instead, he claimed
how do you really feel, pal? Jeez Louise. Wow, that guy's not fucking around. He means it. Daddy's angry. He's fired up. Spicy daddy. All right.
A friend of Leslie's had contacted him to say the FBI only seized her phone 18 months after she posted about an unrelated grand jury case.
That was the thing that got the grand jury in trouble. She didn't post it. She was telling people about it. And I know this because like today, right before the show, I was on the phone with somebody who this person sent that information to. And this individual was visited by the feds about this post. The post had nothing to do with the Karen Reed case. Nothing. And they came with receipts. And they're like worried about it. Like the FBI showed up at the door, wanted to look at her phone. It's a fucking like, it is a buzzkill.
Concerning CDL license fraud on an anonymous Twitter account with fewer than 1,000 followers. This, despite every major outlet reporting that Leslie's charge stems from the Karen Reed investigation.
That every major media outlet stems from the Karen Reed investigation. Not a single person, not a single media outlet has written the words stems from the Karen Reed investigation. Not one. All of them have reported, accurately, might I add, that the grand juror is accused of sending information about the Karen Reed investigation. But not a single one of them has said that the nexus of the investigation was the Karen Reed case. Now, the nexus of the investigation was the tweet about the CDLs. That's a fact. My source told me that. My source was visited by the feds. She had her phone taken, according to her. They have her messages with the grand juror. They know everything that they talked about. And after that, they found out, oh, look, she's sending information about the Karen Reed case, the T, as we call it. There's nothing nefarious about it. That's it. That's it. That's the story. I know they don't want to believe that's the story, but that is the story.
Later, the story evolved.
When Jenna Cave testified, how would he know this? Of course he's involved. So I did have a source in Oakley. Who actually works there.
Kearney admitted he had a source on the grand jury, but now it wasn't Jessica Leslie. It was allegedly a court employee. And yes, he confirmed he's had frequent communication with Leslie's friend. This is the same friend he claims had her devices seized by the FBI in relation to
Okay. Oh, there's me and Nurse Kim. Just like, dude, this is like, imagine this is your life. Like, I have to watch everything he fucking says. I have to download it. I have to analyze it. I have to have a fucking spreadsheet of like, he said this on this date, and I just need to clap it. I don't have time. I don't care about myself this much. I don't. And I think what the things I say are awesome. And I don't even know this much about myself. Like, bro.
This crime, and he admits he has a prior relationship with her.
Now, everyone thinks I had one talk to a girl today. The source, not Jessica Leslie. I talked to her friend today, and Jessica Leslie does not. Her lawyer won't let her talk to me. It's just girl gabbing. That's all this was. Like, if your friend was on the federal grand jury, like you'd want the tea too. And it's all down to this. And like, she was just talking to friends and wasn't posting about it, wasn't sending it to me. I had no. This source, I've talked to her a million times about other stuff. Like my inbox is full of stuff with her. She never mentioned that she had friends on the federal grand jury.
Can anyone rationally believe that she forgot to mention that to him?
I don't really give a shit. You believe it? Can anyone rationally believe that this? So this source has sent me stuff about other shit before. Never mentioned the fact that she had a federal friend in the federal grand jury. She's like, can anyone rationally believe that? First of all, I don't care if you believe that. The feds know that because the feds have her phone. They have her communications. They've read all of her messages, her Twitter messages that she sent me. They know everything she's told me. They know better than anyone. And when push comes to shove, and 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, nothing comes from this. What are they going to say then? You know what they're going to say? Oh, any day now. Next month, maybe. Next month. Oh, no. Any day now. Turtle's fine. They're going to get them.
Something already happened. The jurors pleading guilty on Tuesday. What don't you understand?
Taking their time. This is what they can always hide behind. Oh, it's coming. No, nothing's coming. I'm telling you right now. And market, I want to put to the antis out there. How long are you going to give Krusty for this one? How long? What is the grace period on this for nothing?
No one's giving Krusty anything because no one cares about Kate fucking Peter. Literally, when this all happens, I promise you, ABC News, Fox, the AP, the Boston Globe, the Boston Herald, nobody gives a fuck about Kate fucking Peter. Nobody, except for the Netflix producers she manipulated. I don't really understand all that. I don't give a fuck. Fuck your couch. All right? But, like, the media does not give a fuck about Kate Peter. They're not going to be like, oh, Kate Peter put out a video. No, nobody gives a fuck. They're just going to report it, and shit's going to fucking happen. In terms of the judicial developments, no one gives a fuck about who was right. And furthermore, no one gives a fuck about some obscure YouTube video. Oh my God, I just don't understand my fellow Americans sometimes, ladies and gentlemen. I don't understand.
Coming. Because I'm telling you right now, nothing's coming. Nothing. Because I've never spoken to this woman about her friend.
Oh yeah, Harvard Yard. I was shocked it never got above 9K. He gets like 20 to 30 on some of his lives. 70 with Alan Jackson, real time, like 70,000 real time. He had 9 tonight.
In the grand jury. It never happened. There's no. I wish. It never happened. Ever. She never told me. So how long? So nothing's going to happen. So my question for them is, how long are you going to give them? How long are you going to, what's the grace period on this? What's the grace period before you realize that this is actually a lie? What she's suggesting is...
The grand juror already is pleading guilty. No one cares about what Kate Peter has to say. This man is panicking. There has been nothing of substance. We've been listening to this for like an hour.
Get any information from this. How long are you going to give her? That's what I want to know. How long are you going to give her? What's the grace period?
No one's giving her any time. No one cares about her. Why are you trying to make her relevant, bro? Why? What is wrong with you? She's not relevant. No one's going to pay. Listen, when all the articles get written, when all the shit hits the fan, like you think people are going to be going, like, especially about the Birchmore stuff, you think people are going to be like, oh, well, Kate Peter said this. No, like, Kate Peter knows Tully. Like, you know, that's bad news bears. Okay, same thing with, like, this situation with the grand juror. No, they're going to refer to ABC News, Fox Digital, and the Boston Globe, who fucking reported all of this first. Kate is just like an internet amalgamator. She's a drama commentator. Like, why do both of these humans why won't they just embrace what they are, which is just small-time internet niche content creators in Massachusetts who like internet drama? Like, it's the fucking, like, the faux bravado of it all, like the artificial veneer of like capacity or capability that really frustrates me. Like, just own what you are. Like, Aiden covers like Facebook groups where desperate, vulnerable mothers like need resources, and then he mocks them because he doesn't need help. Okay, that's what he's good at, right? In my opinion, like that, and sometimes helping animals. It's a little weird. I don't understand it. Maybe he had an animal he loved as a kid. Good for him. But like, he thrives when he like mocks people who are desperate and need help. I don't know why, but that's like where he thrives. He has his like 20, 30,000 people that like to watch that stuff. I don't know why people like to torment like single moms who need help with like food. I don't get why they like to. Maybe it's because they feel like it's like high school bullying. They feel better because that's like someone they can look down on. I don't know. I don't care about the pathology of it all. Fuck your couch. But that's like what Aiden's good at. Kate is good at making videos about random internet people like Cyrax and Chili DeCastro and then like laughing about them. Nothing of substance are created by either Aiden Kearney, in my opinion, or Kate Peter. They just laugh at people who they try to feel like above because they're very low on the social ladders, all right? I don't know what to tell you. Like, Kate's even lower on the ladder than Aiden. That's why Kate has to go for like Cyrax and Chili DeCastro. Talk about your low-hanging fruit. I get it gets views, but like, when you have to bully people like that, it means you're trying to feel better about yourself and you pick literally the lowest fucking hanging fruit. Okay? All right? So you see the similar behavior?
Licensing case, never breathe a word to Turtle Boy. About the federal.
Why would she never breathe a word to Turtle Boy? Probably because her friends on the grand jury told her, you can't go and fucking gab to Turtle Boy about this, because then I'm going to get in trouble. Yeah, don't do that.
Federal grand jury investigating the Karen Read case, especially when he and Karen themselves were openly searching for that exact information. To add another layer of implication to this, as of today, July 18th, Kearney and his attorneys are now under federal court order to return all federal discovery materials in their possession and destroy any copies.
What? We are told to get rid of federal materials? What federal materials? What are you talking about? What is she talking about? Federal, what the fuck is this?
The math isn't mathing. What we have here is a timeline that looks increasingly inconvenient for Kearney, a criminal plea that couldn't come quicker, a deal that couldn't have been softer, and a cascade of contradictions from someone who wants Brad to have exactly the kind of access that just sent someone else to federal court. Nothing to see here. You decide.
So that entire thing was like 12 minutes of, I have no evidence whatsoever, like literally no evidence whatsoever Turtle Boy is involved in this. But here's a whole video that proves fucking nothing.
Yeah, and Kate also didn't bring up Exhibit O like we talked about. And listen, I don't know how many times you want me to bring it up. Okay, like Exhibit O, maybe I should just permanently have it loaded up into my Google, my software here, just so I can constantly reference this. Like it is. I am incredulous, okay, folks? I am just incredulous that Kate Peter would think, for whatever reason, that it is appropriate to not include this specific video, this specific image in the video. Now, I know why she didn't. I think it's cowardly. Well, again, nobody's going to care about a 4,000 view like YouTube video. I could make a post. Literally, I made a post the other day that quoted the Cyndi Lauper song. Some boys want to take a beautiful girl, which I said was the truth, and hide her away from the rest of the world. But I want to be the one that walks in. I want to be the one to walk with her in the sun. It got 20,000 views. I was quoting Cyndi Lauper. I put no effort into that tweet. It got 20,000 views. Okay. So, like, I'm not flexing on him. I'm just trying to tell you, like, I'm just trying to, like, tell myself, like, okay, what Kate Peter does doesn't matter. She is, like, a little, like duck, like, looking like Shrek, in my opinion. Like, she looks kind of like Shrek when you see her in person. Like, she uses a filter online, but you see her in person, and I'm trying to be nice, but, like, it's a combination of, like, a duck and, like, Shrek. Okay, and it's weird. And she's a cruel person, so I don't feel bad. I'm sorry. But anyway, why wouldn't Kate include this image, right? Exhibit O. It proves Aidan Kearney, as I read earlier, was saying to Lindsay Gattani on November 28, 2023, that Josh Levy was conveying specific information, much like the federal grand juror might have been conveying to Karen Read and her team, like specific information about when Jen McCabe was going to testify, information about Jen McCabe's phone records, having Karen's team send communications from the DA's office to the feds, etc. Levy telling Karen's team, if you are contacted by media in the coming days or weeks, we would appreciate if you don't mention us working together. Okay? You see what I'm saying? That's from Aidan Kearney to Lindsay Gattani. All right? And Kate didn't include that because she is some kind of Shrek. I don't know. You know, I'm just, thinking it through.
That's it. It's like, bro, this is the best they have. That's why Brian Albert's having lunch with DePietro. Because they can't have.
No. Let me give you a little context, in my opinion, all right? Kate is a handler, but also easy to handle because it's child's play to deal with her. She's not very good at life, in my opinion. John DePietro is better at life. He's smart. He's a journalist, but, like, he plays the game, and he's good at it, okay? So, like, those two people, like, yeah, you would want to deal with them. But, there's no narrative control there. You could buy all the PR firms you want. You could do all the narrative control you want. Like, nothing's going to happen related to the John O'Keefe and Karen Read investigation, okay? But what is going to happen, I think, is, like, some people who, like, people are very protective of are going to go down over the Sandra Birchmore thing. And in that sense, like, yeah, like, you're not saving that narrative. Are you kidding me? Like, I want to know when every single one of you knew about that. That's really fucked up. You're not saving that narrative. So you're not going to come to me. Like, the desperation is because you cannot go to any other media outlet. No one's going to be like, okay, here's how we'll help you. Like, fuck you. I'm sorry. Not all of you, but like, you knew about the Sandra Birchmore cover-up. Fuck you. So, sorry. Not sorry. You know what I'm saying? And so Aiden doesn't get the dynamic. Like there are people who do not like Karen Read, who also really do not have any sympathy for what happened with Sandra Birchmore. It's a very small group of people, like very, very small. Pretty sure I'm the only one. There's a few of us. Like I'm talking about like in the room, I guess. There's a very few people who take that position. But if you take that position, you're in no man's land. Not really. Not nowadays. But you were for a while. So, yeah, maybe, the narrative is slipping away. But not in the way people think. Just more in the sense that, it's the culmination time. And what has been in the dark will come to light, right? I mean, that's how the judicial system works, I suppose. All right, can we get done with this? We've been listening for a while.
That's not going to help. She got no credibility. At least John DePietro has a press pass. That's why she's having lunch with him.
Yeah, no, so here's the problem. It's not, like, John DePietro's great, okay? But it's not only her and John. Like, first of all, like, John's great. He does a lot of good coverage, but, like, and he's more relevant than Kate by leaps and bounds. That's why they're talking to him, because I would guess they're moving away from Kate, which is the smart decision, in my opinion. No, it's not. Listen, they're not the only ones. Like, it's in every national outlet. Like, I've been talking to you could tell Aiden's a little out of the loop because he doesn't realize, like, what the journalists are talking about. Like, I talk to my colleagues, okay? I'm telling you, this isn't going away. Like, not this story, not the other stuff. It's like all of us are on it. Like the whole media, like all of us. You want the whole corpse on it? We're all on it. Every single one of us. No, it's not going away. So, no, and there's nothing. No one even. I don't think I've ever heard a journalist mention Kate Peter to me ever. And now that I think about it, outside of like one person who's maybe a little bit too blinded by friendship for their own good, I've never heard a journalist mention Kate Peter's name to me. I've heard a journalist mention Turtle Boy's name to me, mostly like with rolling their eyes, like incredulity. That's like what most of the journalists I talk to will say about Turtle Boy. But like, I've never heard a journalist mention Kate Peter, ever. I don't even think they know who she is. Like, I think if I talked to most of the serious journalists I talked to, maybe like TMZ or something would know. But like most of the serious journalists I talk to, I wouldn't mention her name because I feel like they'd be like, who is that? And I would never explain it to them. But like, she'd never come up ever. Ever once, as far as I know. All right, let's go.
So there's that. All right, hold on. I'll be right back. Use the voice real quick. Hold on.
What?
No, it was called Feeding the Ducks.
He just plays SD because he has to go to the bathroom? That's all he has to play? And he just, he couldn't even play it for the whole time he was in the bathroom? What?
We don't play that. Okay. All right. You know what I need to do again? A freestyle rap. A lot of people don't know. I'm used to make my bones being like a freestyle rapper. Every episode, how I used to make money. I would be lucky if I made $200 an episode because I would basically say,
listen, satire rap is the greatest thing ever. I want him to satire rap. You don't understand. Like, satire rap, especially when you're doing it to, like, make a larger point, it's hilarious. I had no idea he did that. I'm not necessarily saying he's going to be good at it, but, like, satire rap is hilarious.
If we can raise $200 in the donos, then I will do a freestyle rap. And I would have the rap. It was never a freestyle. It was pre-written. That was the joke. And I would rap. And have you guys ever seen like some of the? Let me find the old freestyles. If you haven't seen these before, you're in for a treat. There was the Canton one. I forget if we've got like. Okay. Let's see. Canton.
Wait. He just is like, okay, I don't have anything else to say. No, we're not watching him rapping. No. No. Does he say anything of interest after this? I'm not watching him rapping. I swear to God. No. No. Oh my God. Yes. So I kind of remember this a little bit. He used to like mock Worcester rappers, and I like there's a point to it. Like satire rap does have a point, but that's not it. I'm sorry. It's hilarious, but no. Well, let's listen to him on Hyperspeed. Sounds like a chipmunk. That's funny. No. He's funny. It has like, so what I don't like about it is he like uses the word like ratchet a lot, and so like the way he's doing it has more of like an appropriation tone to it than like there's a way to satirize hip hop while respecting that it's like spoken word poetry. That's not it. Like that's just him like mocking hip hop. I don't really like that very much. But yeah. Anyway, that was ridiculous. He's ridiculous. Why? It's 2 a.m. We're still going. It was absolutely wild. Hi, LLA Towel. I am indefatigable. Yep. Oh, yes. Tom CPU and the Birchmore family. Does he really end this stream with videos of him rapping? This is the most ridiculous. No way. This is what he... Hold on. Let's see if he goes to something else. Please tell me you don't just continue watching videos of you rapping. I have to actually analyze all of it.
Elizabeth sends $50 and goes, when you were giving an interview the other morning, you said, hold on, someone is in my driveway. I was like, wait, no, those were Dan Markel's last words. Is it really? Were those really his last words? Is it Sigfredo? I'm loving my new favorite journalist. Did I say that the other day in an interview? There's someone in my driveway. I think they were just the landscaping guys. I think they were. I'm not sure. Sometimes people pull my driveway. I don't know where they are. I just rent. It's not my house, so thank you. Next up, John Barron's. No, I read the one. Amy sends $5, goes, listen, Turtle, my birthday is coming up, and a Prison Turtle t-shirt is at the top of my wish list. Where can I buy one? I don't see them in your merch store. Do we not have them in the merch store? Well, I'll talk to Laura and see if we can fix that. But we had some issues with the merch store. It got shut down. We had to start from scratch again. It was a big nightmare. Do the Genetti one. If anybody has my greatest freestyle raps, send them to me. Maybe Laura's got more of those I can send if you think any of them are worth playing. I think she did. She put together a compilation of like all my freestyles. I'll play some of those. I had better ones than that. So thank you very much. And then she goes, also in lieu of gifts this year, I'm asking all my family and friends to donate to the Turtle Fund. Free Daddy. Well, thank you, Amy. That's very kind of you. Potato Famine Face says $10 and goes, 43 days till football. Go Irish, free Turtle. Yeah. We'll see how the Irish are this year. We'll see. Hopefully this is the start of something. It wasn't a 1-year thing. We'll find out. We'll find out if they got what it takes. I don't know. We'll find out. And yeah, that comment. I'll never get over the face of generational Irish poverty. I can't with that one. That's too funny. Elizabeth sends $10 goes, was watching a true crime and the deranged woman from Dallas stabbed her 2 little boys to death. Well, that's a downer. While trying to profess her innocence, she said, I'm just a normal mom. I almost choked. Okay, that's funny. Free Turtle Boy. Liz 88 from Norfolk County. Well, thank you, Elizabeth. Gina sends $20 and goes, you mentioned the Raul Valley case. I watched and it broke my heart all around. Did you watch? And if so, thoughts? I have not watched the entire thing. But I'm definitely going to be doing a deep dive on that. I need to sit down and get all the testimony and the highlights of it and just do a whole stream on it because it deserves, especially because it's going to be retried. And they seem hell bent on putting this kid in jail. And I just don't think that is a productive use of the state of Connecticut's time. I don't think so. So thank you. And we'll talk more about that. Yeah, none of the other, the law tubers around here, it was a Court TV covered it, but nobody's really gotten into that case. And I think it's really interesting, that case, because I don't think he's guilty. I think he stabbed Jimmy McGrath and caused the injuries that killed him, for sure. No doubt about that. Nobody debates that. It just sounds like what he went through. First of all, he has no motive to kill Jimmy McGrath at all. And it sounds like textbook self-defense. And I don't see how Jimmy McGrath ended up getting killed if he was not involved in that fight. I just don't see it. So, the Baker streamed it. So there we go. Of course he did. Because the Baker's the man. Thank you. And I'm going on his stream this week, so check that out. And I'm going on Making Law Simple on Monday and doing Legos. So that's cool. So thank you. All right, next up. Kelly sends $5 and goes, Judy Blume books are great. I remember reading those as kids. Also looking at the Peter Power book series. My 10-year-old's been reading them. Yeah, Judy Blume's the best. She was so funny as a kid. Jonesy Jones sends $25 goes, Unc, I grew up on Piedmont Street in Worcester. Did you really? Were you always a hooker? Or, no, I'll read the rest of this first. I've since made it to greener pastures. Talk about how growing up in Worcester has influenced your style of journalism. If it has at all, I see you as a relentless fighter for the truth. Someone that speaks your mind. It's refreshing, and I can't help but think growing up in Worcester has helped shape this mentality. Yeah, it certainly has. Growing up in Worcester made me a little more rugged and rough around edges. Because if you guys don't know about Worcester, it's not like the worst place on earth or anything like that. It's like go to Worcester, you're gonna get shot or gang. It's like, but it's right. Especially growing up in the public schools in Worcester is different from like going to St. Peter Mary. It's just you can grow up different than if you went to the Catholic schools and grew up in Worcester. And it did make me who I am. Like it shaped me. Because Worcester's like a very rough around edges kind of blue collar community, and it's a Worcester vibe. I don't know. It's just like I always say, it's like everything I do. Like I get my cheapness from growing up in Worcester. It's like all my friends that grew up here, we're all kind of the same. Like we call a Worcester lunchbox, like a Shaw's like plastic bag. Like everybody in Worcester, everybody who grew up in Worcester has in their pantry right now a plastic bag filled with other plastic bags. That's like guaranteed. Like there isn't a single person from Worcester right now who doesn't have at least 50 plastic bags in their closet right now, because we use those for everything, don't we? Those are great. Those are fucking, you pack your vacation shit in there, shoes go in there, right? Everything goes in a plastic bag. And everybody knows when you come back from Shaw's or Price Chopper or whatever, and you take all the groceries out, you got like 20 plastic bags left over. Ain't throwing those out, are we? Right? We're saving on to all those plastic bags, and we're putting them inside another plastic bag and just going in the closet. And that's what we do with plastic bags in Worcester. So yeah, that's just one example. I don't know. It's just like where's my townie friends? They're just like plastic bags. What'd you do those for? Just use fucking paper. You don't bring your bags into Trader Joe's? Nope, never been to Trader Joe's. Don't know what we don't have one of those in Worcester. So there's that. Okay, cool. Next up. Where are we at? Okay. Jill sends $50. It's kind of a long one, so I'll read as most as I can. Doctor, I came late, so sorry if you've read this, and sorry it's long, but I have a public service announcement. The FBI doesn't give a fuck who leaked info unless the officer of the court. Exactly. The only crime, if you leak anyone who thought you went too far at the Lax game, thought Long Island auditor maybe went too far with the cop house driveway musty updated video auditor posted yesterday. I was wrong about Sergeant Fahey's criminal charges for spitting in my face. Yeah, I saw that. We'll talk about that. Okay. So it just kind of goes on and on and on. So can't read the whole thing. So thank you, Jelly. I appreciate the donos. And yeah, check out the, I'm going to talk to him this week and see if we can set up a collab. We'll see. Thank you. All right, next up. Sue sends $25 and goes, any chance you can change the time of your show? It's 4 a.m. in the UK and you are really starting to fuck my Sundays up. You can always just watch it on repeat the next day, Sue. Just 9's a good time for me because the kids are going down around that time, you know? So it's just a good time for me. Maybe I could go earlier. I don't know. Lee sends $10. Lee from Plainville and says, more sad corruption. Poor Kelsey Fitzsimmons. The FBI needs to clean house with these evil humans. So I'm not going to be commenting about the Kelsey Fitzsimmons case ever because my lawyer is representing Kelly Fitzsimmons and it's just a conflict. So to be perfectly honest with you, I will never comment on that. If I have strong opinions one way or another, you won't hear them because it's just a conflict kind of, you know what I mean? Like, I suppose I would if it was something that really elicited strong opinions. Kelsey Fitzsimmons is the North Andover cop who has been...
Bro, Betero tried to represent Karen. What are you fucking talking about? Oh, wow, there's something weird there.
I don't know if she's been charged or what. She was shot because she allegedly pointed a gun at other officers who came to her house to issue a restraining order. There's a kid involved. There's some severe, not Lindsay Clancy thing, but like the postpartum thing is involved there. I don't know all the details. And quite frankly, if I look into that case and I develop an opinion that Kelsey Fitzsimmons is at fault, right? Then I got a situation here because I'm like undermining my lawyer. You know what I mean? And I hate to say it, but it is a conflict. Like it's like, so I can't have a strong opinion on that. And I'm also just not going to blindly defend Kelsey Fitzsimmons because my lawyer represents her. So I'm not going to automatically take Kelsey's side because my lawyer defends her. I'm also not going to take the opposite point of view, right? Because I don't want to undermine my lawyer. So I'm kind of in a tough position here. You know what I mean? I'm kind of in a tough position with that case because Tim Bradel represents her. And, you know, like, she didn't, again, if I got it, this is why I'm not fucking with this. She didn't point the gun at the cops. I got it wrong. Okay. I'll let Melanie cover that case. I'll let Melanie cover that case because I don't, and it's also a reason why I haven't really gotten too much into the Fraser Bone, is that how you say his last name? The guy who Jackson is representing, the kid from Malibu, who AJ's representing, because I don't want to do this thing where I automatically side with the defendants of my lawyers that I like. You know what I mean? Because then you're like, well, it's just, I'm biased. I always want to have AJ's back and I always want to have Bradel's back, but that makes me biased, doesn't it? Right? See what I'm saying? So like to be, my whole thing is I'm unbiased and I cannot not have bias when it comes to those cases because my bias is to want to help Tim Bradel. My bias is to want to back up Tim Bradel. See what I'm saying? So I can't do those cases. So, but luckily it sounds like Melanie Little's covering that and she's awesome and she's got a huge platform. So it's covered. There you go. All right, next up. Paula sends $10, goes, do you remember Kevin Harkins from Worcester that was murdered because he was a witness in the trial in 1994? Body was never found. I do vaguely remember that. Was that the story out of the bar on Chandler Street? I totally forgot. I think it was. So thank you, Paula. I'll have to look into that. Peter sends $25 and goes, g'day, Dr. Love, your work and your professional, I love your work. G'day, doctor. Love your work and professionalism and journalism. Some news from down under in Australia. We just had a huge murder case. Erin Patterson was found guilty of murder over death cap mushroom lunch. Don't know what that is. A Supreme Court jury found her guilty of murdering 3 relatives by deliberately lacing a beef Wellington lunch with dead cap mushrooms. Well, then you explained it. Giddy up. Cheers, buddy. Peter in Sydney, Australia. Only in Australia is that your big murder case? Is that somebody used poison mushrooms in the beef Wellington? Death by beef Wellington. Sounds Australian to me. Thank you. Next one. Megan sends $10 and goes, yeah, up here in America we got Corey Richards. We got death by like fentanyl or whatever she put in her husband's shit. You know, down in Australia, death by mushrooms. There you go. So okay, so she sent me a funny video. I'll watch it another time. She says some of your interviews remind me of this kid. Like, I suppose you sent me $10, so I'll play it. It's only 17 seconds. I haven't watched the whole thing.
Have you ever had dreams that you want
Fuck are you talking about? Okay, so yeah, that's not fair. I disagree with that one. I disagree. You paid $10, I'm gonna play your video, but I disagree. Jason's a great guy. And he wasn't stuttering. It was just long-winded questions, that's all. And often he answered them, and I was like, I agree. I concur. I'm with you, homie. That's why we're friends. Okay, thank you. Stephanie sends $5 and goes, too bad you can't charge crazy lady rent. You've been living in her head rent-free all this time. I have. Karina sends $10, goes, I would love for you to tell my husband, John, that I love him the whole world over, and I can't wait to see Oasis with him next week. I love all you do, Dr. Turtleboy, and I'm looking forward to seeing you at the stream with Melanie Little. Isn't that amazing? Stuff like that gives me hope. When people are like married forever and they're still like madly in love, and it's like they just can't get enough of each other, you know, even though they're married. That's a beautiful thing. That's marriage. It's a beautiful thing, you know, for some people. Fathers didn't work out so well, right? But for some people, it's a beautiful thing, and I love to see it. So that's really nice. Thank you. Next up, Lisa sends $10, goes, you are charming. Yes, you are charming. We love you. I laughed so much watching you with Auntie Deb and Nurse Kim. I can't wait for Melanie. Free Turtle Boy. Well, thank you, Lisa. I'm also looking forward to that tomorrow. Laura sends $5, goes, I have ADHD, ADHA. I usually have a very polite look on my face when people talk illogical. Inside my head, I'm saying, what are you talking about? Is this person stupid? And please shut the fuck up before I'm rude. I wasn't thinking any of those things, but I definitely have ADHD, so thank you. Sue sends $10, goes, I have to stay awake so I can speak to you. 5 a.m. now. Anyway, do you remember those t-shirts from the 90s that change color with body temperature? Your top looks like that on video. I don't remember that, but that's interesting. Thank you. Kristen sends $10 and goes, the Raoul Valley trial should be called the I don't recall trial, and magically each kid only had 2 beers at the party trial. It's so true. They all said that. I appreciate you diving into this case. This ain't right. Yeah. Face on Teal. Yeah, Face on Teal was like the least sympathetic stabbing victim ever. They all were. Ryan Hines, like they're all the least sympathetic bro. Like you're like, oh yeah, you guys are all just douchebags. Okay, I got it. So thank you. Mr. Ed Sullivan sends $5, goes, your best rap is when that guy fucked a horse in Norfolk County. Oh, I forgot about that. In the town of Norfolk, he fucked a horse, the horse fucker.
Okay, all right. All right. This is just gone completely off the rails. Wait a minute. Okay, listen. I don't know if I'm delirious. It's about 2 a.m. where I am, but I'm pretty sure he just started talking about a man having sex with a horse. Oh, how far Turtle Boy has fallen. All right, listen. I'm exhausted. That was That was absolutely ridiculous. I'm going to bed. That was absolutely ridiculous. Oh, I enjoy hearing your thoughts. Oh, thank you so much. God bless you to Emily for sending a donation. I've never seen anything later, ladies and gentlemen. I've never seen anything like this grand juror situation either. Can you tell I'm getting tired? Well, we've only been going for like 14 hours, you know what I'm saying? It's not that long. All right, so Harvard Yard Towel, LLA, Steph Towel, Emily, Tanya. It was great to see some of you friends. I'm going to do more late night streams. Yes, corrections. I'm a machine towel. Noel Towel, thank you very much. Filthy Rat Bastard. Oh, I actually should do this first. So, this is a public information service. Since someone actually sent over a donation, God bless you for doing it. If you benefited from this 14-hour stream, if you learned something today, first of all, will you consider giving a donation to Lindsay Gattani? If we're really going to stand up for the vulnerable, let's help Lindsay Gattani out, folks. She deserves our help. Go ahead and visit her fundraiser. It's worth your support. You can go to GiveSendGo/GEFJ4. All of the letters are capitalized, GEFJ4. If you want to help support Little Towel, if you benefited from this stream today, you can do that directly. We didn't do one ad break or donation read the whole day because except for the super chats, because I was being a Little Towel. Emily, God bless you for your support. You know I will do just that, my friend. But yes, this is a public information service. It's designed to educate, inform, and entertain the wider public. We use entertainment as a hook to facilitate engendering, coach, and public discourse, such as to ward off usurpation of our representative forms of government worldwide. If you think that's something that will help the wider world, there's ways to support Towel Streams. You can find the YouTube, the Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal link in the chat. You can, the Cash App is $Grant Smith Ellis. The Venmo's at Grant-E1. You'll know that it's me because it's a picture of Elmo. The PayPal is paypal.me/Grant Ellis. That said, ladies and gentlemen, there's lots of ways to help this public information service flourish. We do a lot of public access programming, coverage of court cases. We watch long-form public affairs programming. We watch some old-school, very interesting Sherlock Holmes episodes. You can tell your friends about it. You can play trivia with us. That's also enjoyable. But you can also do things that don't cost money. You can like the stream. You can subscribe. You can let your friends know about it. Clearly, Towel puts in a lot of effort. It's not really for any of those purposes. It's to, as I mentioned, help ward off the usurpation of our representative form of government. But if you want to support this channel, that does help me, and maybe I can then help Towel Mom, and the more I can help, the better. So thank you very much for allowing me to do that. Harvard Yard Towel. Harvard Yard Towel, was great to see you. Harvard Yard, let me know if you have time tomorrow. I would like to have a meeting with you and Steph Towel. Iris, it was great to see you. Steph Towel, you get some rest. Filthy Rat Bastard, it was great to see you. So thank you very much, every single one of you. Truth Over Bias. Elizabeth Lander. Hi, Tiggy Towel. Ladies and gentlemen, did you all meet Tiggy Towel today? Let me just say, Tiggy Towel is adorable, ladies and gentlemen. Look at Tiggy Towel, ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever seen anyone so precious as Tiggy Towel? Now, Tiggy Towel, ladies and gentlemen, look at Tiggy Towel, okay? So, Tiggy Towel is absolutely adorable. Oh, LLA, thank you so much, my friend. God bless you. Let me grab Tiggy Towel. Hold on, where's Tiggy Towel? Here's Tiggy Towel. She's up in the corner, or they're up in the corner. Have you ever seen a doggo as beautiful as Tiggy Towel, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, look at Tiggy Towel. Oh, LLA, God bless you, my friend. That is an amazing super towel chat. God bless you, LLA. That is an amazing super towel emoji. I love him. That's how I feel. I feel like I'm sliding across the finish line when I'm hanging out with you little towels. Yes, Selena, great to see you. I will take a little rest, but how could I not say hello to Tiggy Towel, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you, LLA. Towel likes to work hard, but you know who deserves credit? That Super Towel emoji who is sliding across the screen, ladies and gentlemen. Look at him. Look at him, giving him little head pats. That's how I feel. I basically got to the goal, ladies and gentlemen. Look at, he's wearing a little Super Towel headband. I've never seen this one sliding across the ground. Look at me, 2 a.m. still going like a little Super Towel. And that's what he's like. He's like, I'm a Super Towel. Yes, I love it, LLA. I'm having the time of my life right now. You don't understand. It could be 2 in the morning, 8 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon. You send a Super Towel emoji. I'm going to be like, oh my goodness, look at that little Super Towel emoji. Yeah, look at him. He's adorable. Oh, and we have the amazing Super Towel doggo, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that Super Towel doggo. We love this Super Towel doggo. We love Tiggy Towel. Elizabeth Lander, I can't wait to see you on Monday. So Towel's off today, which is Sunday. I'm not going to see you until probably Monday in the morning. We have Koberger catch up to do ahead of sentencing, which I think is Wednesday. We have a lot of information to get caught up on who knows what's going to happen in the news week. But you know, ladies and gentlemen, Towel appreciates you both so much. That's Steph Harvard Yard. Yes, I'll make sure we all link up. Steph is wonderful. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you know how I like to end this stream every day. If you benefited from this stream, if you learned something today, if you found friends here, if you found camaraderie, happiness, or just found yourself baffled at Turtle Boy being a Turtle Boy, then you know what you can do, ladies and gentlemen. If you really want to pay it forward, you can look for reasons to do small acts of service. Yes, it can be as simple as donating to homeless veterans, ladies and gentlemen. There should not be a single veteran in the United States of America who is homeless against their will. So if you want to donate to homeless veterans, that is a great way to help with that effort. You want to donate to animal shelters run by veterans? I think that's a great idea. You can help animals. You can help veterans. It's a great idea. You want to donate to animal shelters in general? That's also a fine idea. Maybe you want to donate to The Big Issue in the UK. Did you know that's a great way to help people experiencing homelessness? It could be something as simple as just saying hello to someone on the street, though, ladies and gentlemen, or reaching out to a friend or family member you haven't heard from in a while. Or maybe you want to donate 200 tomato plants to someone like Francis Frutrell did one time and have them designated as honorary towels. Yes, I truly believe that those small acts of service rooted in unconditional compassion and love can ripple outwards and in that way shift our current realpolitik from one centered on expanding, preserving, and demonstrating our power to instead one centered on expanding, preserving, and demonstrating our ability to engage in small acts of service rooted in unconditional love and compassion. Yes, I believe that those small acts of service will ripple outwards, ladies and gentlemen, and bring about a new digital epoch wherein Aquarius the Water Bearer will come about standing tall and proclaiming those principles as foundational pillars of the new world order. It will be one that is unfortunately going to be a bit tumultuous to come about, but it will be better because of those small ripples of goodness that come about because of you all. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, that is my towel eudaimonia or summum bonum in the ancient Greek or the Latin respectively, and that's what towel human flourishing is all about. Yes, my name is Grant Smith Ellis, and Towel Friends over on the Towel X, you know exactly what I'm going to say, which is I give a few minutes to the Towel Friends on the YouTube, on the Towel X at the beginning, so I'm going to give a few extra minutes to the Towel Friends on the YouTube at the end. Therefore, Towel Friends on the X, it was great to see you today. Thanks for watching. Join us Monday, youtube.com/@GrantSmithEllis. I appreciate you. God bless. Be well, and try to take some time tomorrow to reflect, or today, Sunday, to reflect and relax. Towel loves you very much. Thank you for spending so much time with me today. Towel appreciates you. See you soon, Towel Friends on the X. Towel Friends on the Towel YouTube. That was quite a day. And LLA says, Random acts of kindness is the most simple thing that matters most. You never know what someone is going through. You know what, LLA? I think that is so true, my friend. And I was saying earlier that I think Immanuel Kant was wrong when he asserted that do not lie is the embodiment of the categorical imperative, which is to act in a way as you can will only as a universal moral law for all people to follow at all times. And I said the far better exemplar of the categorical imperative is do small acts of service. Why? Well, because you should lie to, for example, someone from the Third Reich. If they're asking you if you have Jews in your house, you should lie. So the categorical imperative fails that test. But you should always do small acts of service. There's no situation which would not call for that principle to be upheld. So that's my argument for why doing small acts of service is actually the exemplar of Kant's categorical imperative. Thank you, Steph. You're a super towel. Can't wait to talk to you in Harvard Yard Towel tomorrow. Towel friends on the Towel YouTube, you know how much this community means to me. Thank you so much for spending so much time today with me. God bless every single one of you. You know I'm getting a little tired. My voice is hoarse. But I'll tell you inspire me to keep doing this. You inspire me to cultivate a community ethos centered on compassion and understanding. And I saw some things that were very uplifting and inspiring today in the chat. I know we had some, direct, frank discussions, but then people found compassion and common ground, and that warms my little heart. So I'm a little towel. You all mean so much to me. You are creating, I think, a very special community here. I can't wait to play more trivia on Monday. I can't wait to see you all again. I cherish what's been created here, and I hope you do as well. Not just because of your connection with Little Towel, but the other connections you've made here that splinter out or ripple out into the world, like those small acts of service and goodness we're trying to encourage. So God bless every single one of you, ladies and gentlemen, and Super Towels. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I'll see you on Monday, just over 26, 28, 30 hours from now. I'll look forward to it. I hope you will as well. My name's Grant Smith Ellis. God bless you. Be well. Reach out if you need me. You know where to find me. Twitter, email, X, or otherwise. And I think I'll leave you with just remember the good moments where you found friendship and compassion, and try to always focus on those in the difficult moments. And always reach out to me if I can be of help as well. All right, towel friends, God bless you. I know some of you will not go to bed until I go to bed, so I'm going to do that now. Thank you again for all of your support, and have a wonderful rest of your evening. Sleep well, be well. Know that Towel loves you and that you are special because you are you. Until Monday, friends, my name's Grant.